Cik. Wait. Cik. Cik. Low cik. Cik low cik. Alright. Yo guys, welcome. Set Jakaria Prilian masuk bos. Buset, bos. Kaget gua. Woi. Kok ada suara lain? Cik. Masuk ya. Thank you. Buset Rian PR. Kaget gua. Ngudut dulu Bang Jakaria Prilianto. Masuk ya berarti ya. Ngeri, sebentar lagi 1.000. Buset, masih jauh itu. Masih jauh bos. Seret banget bos. 1.000 mas seret banget. Masih berapa sih? 289. Masih jauh bos. Masih sangat jauh itu bos. Langsung aja lah ya. Langsung aja ya. Nyala gak sih? Kita nobar dulu ini bos.
They have prepped so hard for this in their runs against champions that they absolutely
NRG melawan EDG.
And something I'm looking for from EDG is just how they put together their set plays in the attack
Ini
side.
lagi di mana nih bos?
Sheila Gaming, they went
Lagi di mana, bos?
round to a full attack and defense half. Pretty good, at least regionally, at dealing with that gun disadvantage. Not a factor in this round. They have to buy it. Want to see more from them.
a lot of spam coming down mid.
Oh nggak live bos. Lagi sibuk ya nih bos Jakaria
Various
Prilianto
pieces
nih.
of utility to get some info as to what EDG's plan in mid is, and there isn't much of one. They've retreated after spamming, after making all that noise to get into A main, take all of that space.
All right, convergent paths being wound up here for Mata.
This could be potent. The convergent pass with the Odin spam.
Yeah, that hindrance buff could be a debuff rather could be a huge issue for EDG if they try and break through a main. He's that dimensional drift though for Kung. He's going to get ahead of the game to some degree. And here comes the pass now. Ready to fight is Mata. Jenny falls back.
Oke, langsung saja ini
NRG
melawan EDG ya. Kok nggak ada Demon 1 ya? Ada Demon 1 di NRG.
It's a devastating combination, and it's knocked EDG down to 2 players.
Wow, what a shot from Chichu. Just pops out of the smoke with some rapid pace. Scooter is on a very late wrap towards A main, so Ethan going to need to bide his time, but he's actually just forced into the duel. EDG take it to him with both players, but do they expect Scuba this late?
Jangan lupa ngopi sebelum ngopi itu dilarang.
So you know, we're going to test the boy again. One more time.
Everybody.
Oh, the kid, I believe.
Oh, the kid. Sorry.
The boy works as well.
8-3 already. 6 rounds in. On his plate, but Chichu's gobbled up instantly. Goes out to Kung into the finest cuisine. On an offer here from EDG. Time though, not on Scuba's side. It doesn't seem to matter. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and it goes rolling. Scuba steps up to sit Kung down.
May just be time to stop testing Scuba. Relentless right now on Corrode. Supreme anchoring on that B site into the 1 versus 2 clutch. But I do want to talk about prior in this round, the moment from Brock, which was after the convergent paths were used, really stalled out EDG's effort to get into that A site. And then once they are finally able to kind of go for that second wave entry, they're hit by the saturate as well, and that's when Brock just pops off. Chill as ever. Ice cold as we've seen him on the run to get here.
That brand of nonchalance only seen in NA Zoomers. It pays off for NRG. Kung working towards yet another dimensional drift, or a 0 point off the rip that conveyed a little bit of info to Ethan.
It's another half buy here for EDG. Couple rifles, couple stingers, no ultimates to their name just yet. Maybe Genie could get an overdrive active in this round.
Mata with the timing.
Yeah, just expected another step forward, but it was 1 step back there.
They're going to test the kid again.
This site has been uncrackable, but they are going for it. They're running into Scuba. He's got the molly ready. He's forced to retreat on account of that relay pull. Genie spotted out by Ethan, but no opportunity to really face into that.
That could have had him gobbled up though. He got his walk though. Dangerous place to be up against the Odin, and Jenny is on the receiving end.
Oh, that's a crazy adjustment. They still have to deal with Scuba here, and Ethan doubled up high-low.
Perfect. Wasn't even needed there. Scuba very comfortable from that spot. Brock eventually that was brought down. Still no plant. Nobody has to stick it here.
Chichu miles away, has to get through B main. Smoke's coming down now from Ethan. Paranoid as well connects.
The setup was perfect. Ethan
Apaan tuh?
Nobody like it's nobody's business. Chichu now has to play off the side entirely. Retake ball being toggled in his way, that's a factor. But Ethan is taken down handily. Now the bias this bit is set up for him to get back in. Risky business. Som's looking to get this to half and likely to get off. It's outside of the pit. Dangerous as Chichu shows himself with the tracers. And some blows into smithereens.
Just a commitment to testing this B site and failing from EDG yet again. NRG, the way that they're adjusting their setups with those 2 anchors of Ethan and Scuba, and consistently able to buy time for the rotates to come through. The support from Brock was right in time. That was a pretty nasty adjustment onto the swing from Ginny. And then after the fact, though, they just can't get into backside. We've seen this on multiple occasions. The backside is fully controlled by Ethan and Scuba. That time a high-low on a prior round of Crossfire.
Chichu, though, brimming with confidence, even in that 1 versus 3. Spends the Viper's pit in order to give him a way back into the B side.
A lot of confidence, but also feels like desperation. We need to get around on the board, and I'm going to try to do whatever it takes to claw for it. And it's all for naught. That ultimate just thrown to the wind.
Proper buy here, though. Late 0 point should tell a lot. Catch on to 2 in mid, and the Neon spotted, crucially.
There are 4 ultimates available for NRG on this round. Scuba has pivoted towards this A site.
Oh, that's a tag on the clone by the looks of things. Nothing off that Hunter's Fury, but Scuba now preemptively throws it up. Fit down on the A side. This isn't enough yet to deter EDG. They may exit via a link though.
All of it encompassed by that. All the EDG feeling pressure to retreat.
Oh, Scooby's here? Let's go the other one.
Yeah, genuinely time to go to B, but now you're going to deal with Brock with that Odin and a total lack of main control. You know, when they come in, Brock could try to go for some spam, retreat back to elbow, and then Mata has the cross with his arm to push onto it. Oh, like another wall, it's bad, Jenny! Very low. Somehow alive though, Mata gets traded out. Chichu and Nobody get involved in that engagement, and Brock is still looking for a way to make use of the Odin. It's Ethan stepping up, Brock down, Odin threat neutralized. Kankan deals with Ethan, who won't be brought back into the game anytime soon. Now Scuba and Som had to put it together. One in tower, the other coming from top mid. And that's crucial. This kill here is everything. Kankan not ready for the swing, but still recovers in time. And even found Ethan off the backside.
Oh, di PKMS sih
now there's this wrap coming in. Ginny getting into elbow. Som has to drop, has to make some sound. And beautiful, beautiful. Perfect moment for the swing. EDG finally get one on the board after that 5-round drought. It just comes from pressuring A into the pivot towards B, not running into Scuba. And honestly, I want to see this kill from Nobody onto Mata. Yeah, finding that instant trade was massive. I mean, imagine if Mata, even with low HP, just gets back around the corner. There was no one who would have been able to kill him. He could have just posted up in main. That would have been so difficult for EDG to deal with.
Just sick from Kankan.
Yeah, and then that 3K is beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
And also the null commanding Ethan is not in a position for that ultimate to have any effect. So he spares his team the suppression and gets 3.
So many ultimates used in that round for NRG. None of them with any serious level of value. And this has put EDG in a situation where they can get back in this game. Now they're the one with the ultimates advantage.
NRG has managed to spot nothing down mid yet. Mata hasn't pushed up for a swing. Trying to wait patiently on this. Som is very far forward though in yard.
Aku mau nyoba Yoru sih.
Trying to reposition himself.
Di map Korode. Ini.
Oh, that's a clone. In case of that flash, yeah. Now obviously spotted out by this dimensional drift. Som is on the retreat towards site. Mata needs to get out of there with that light speed under a lot of pressure. With the saturate by Mata actually swung into that. That is completely unhinged. Not going to be able to connect though. That's the Horde in play. 0 point capture 3 EDG players. They want to keep this going. Look at this triple face from NRG to try and hold backside. Som goes down early.
That's not been swung into yet.
Yeah, EDG, they don't fully commit. They're just planting for offsite to play from yard, play from lane.
Only playing when I have information, and Ethan that actually stepped up into the line of sight. Mata with a shorty, not close enough. He's in deep trouble, tries to switch weapons, but he's left upon instantly. And as good as Scuba's been, he has been put out of the action this round.
And now it is going to be time for him to save. Ethan is on very low cash, so they would love to be able to make sure that they can get 5 rifles going into this. Next one just retreats towards spawn. EDG, they finally stop the bleeding, get back into the game. They made the right decision in that execute in terms of where they were planting, how they were playing off of the spike. They didn't overcommit. If they had, they would have went right into that NRG triple face stack up backside, but they don't get baited in.
Really well handled. Don't get carried away with it. Playing off that A side. That's the dimensional drift committed there. Going to put Mata in a position where he could not be involved. Great patience considering, I think, a large number of frustrating circumstances have befallen EDG. Not just on this, but also on this map, trying to work their B site. I think they're starting to realize that A might offer a wider array of options for them on the attack side.
Absolutely. It is time to just simply avoid Scuba on this B site. It's been locked down on the left half of the map. Just focus your attention over on A. 0 point goes down bottom. Mid doesn't catch anyone out from EDG. They wait it out, and now they start to press forward.
And no longer is Brock set up top mid to spray through. This time he is out-droning. Through link out to mid and doesn't spot the player on the other side.
I don't think spotted him, but Gokong thought he was. Can't really blame him. Teleports to the team. They're going for the B exec again. They're testing Scuba again.
Jenny tucked in the corner. Ethan now with the fragment to try and dig him out. Smoggy took some damage from him, but Jenny's going to win the fight at elbow. That's Scuba down. No more Viking util. So up to Ethan. Unreal. Nobody's head goes rolling and he says, why not? In for a penny, in for a pound.
How does he not trade that? That felt like a sure kill.
Yeah, dangerous now. Chichu at 5, but still very much a factor. And back into mid, has Kankan gone?
You can see Kankan calming that. He did hear those footsteps behind him. Saw him now through heaven. EDG with an acute awareness of Mata's positioning at the very least.
Nothing for Som to see here. Is it the player below him? Chichu now neutralized. Som could start to cut the side up a little bit with these smokes.
But still, he has to worry a bit about his elbow. You can see he is paranoid. That smoke comes down to Smoggy try to get in front of it. Time is beginning to get very low.
Not enough.
Nice.
And Kang having to play the low ground. Smoggy guesses the round with 2 health. Chichu survives at 5 after Brock tries to trade him. And things just break very well, very favorably for EDG on that B-side hit.
Those were some very snappy, gorgeous shots from Ethan. This little adjustment to the left on nobody was lovely, but
the fact that Genie gets that foothold and finally he's able to take down the back on the entry is massive.
That's the first time they've been able to immediately deal with Scuba. And unfortunately for Brock, he really looked like he had a sure kill with that Odin. And he tried to go for an aim adjustment. And then he just loses out that duel that he absolutely needed to win on the trade.
Just the raw charisma from Kang. It is palpable. So far, he has been the engine room for EDG on this corrode comeback. Good start for EDG with a pistol win, but then that first gun round sees them fall further and further behind. Now, though, game is tied, and Bonka needs to phone in.
When we get back in, NRG do have one ult to play around in those convergent paths from Mata. They are going for a full investment, it does seem, as well. This has been impressive from EDG. Able to make the adjustments, some good calling right now.
That convergent path, the first time we saw it, looked very disruptive. EDG hit en masse by it in guard as they tried to approach that A side. Conservatively, Mata didn't really play into it, didn't rush at them, used it to stall, to disrupt.
What is the play from NRG? EDG have been very willing to press up mid, get that space after and during the wall goes up. Now NRG, they want to fight through it this time. And it has been Kang solo on the effort to take this mid control on most rounds.
No more Odin here for Brock. Down to the Guardian, but playing a similar position. Still good bullet penetration there as NRG want to make full use of the paper mache walls.
Off some contact, Ethan is ready to just flash out, take this fight towards mid. The dark cover drops so he doesn't need to get out of the way temporarily.
Mata also set up to just stay entrenched here and then respond quickly if there's an A hit. Tough for EDG to get A-link control, but they are going to step forward now.
Prowler alerts them to the lack of players there. Oh, close to the judge.
Brings the gavel down on Chichu and Kang. Now the only option is to try and play through mid. It's nobody caught inside a conversion pass. Runner Jenny also suffering that hindrance. And so, Smoggy now in a 1v5. All too much to do, but he's made a good start. Knocked down to 6 though. Too much damage collaterally. And even though he takes 2 key kills.
30 seconds left.
All but impossible as Ethan from pocket will neutralize him.
Excellent setup from NRG and making that adjustment out of the timeout to fight more targeted for that mid. And it just pushes those EDG players fighting through A main right into the judge. Som had a nice position there, kind of just tucked in that corner of the dark cover.
A little saturate to clear that corner by Mata.
And then when the split activates, Mata rips that ult in mid. It was well executed.
That puts NRG back in front by a nose. Now they've got the overdrive to stare down from Jenny. EDG hoping maybe for a fast play to get them to parity at the end of this first half.
Brock has gotten the money to get the Odin activated again.
It's been middling in its impact, I feel.
Which is a rarity for a Brock Odin game, if we're being honest. Now EDG, they buy their time in mid. 0 Point does make a couple connections. Now they work their way up. Gate crash all the way at the top of mid. That's just going to be a fake from Kang. But NRG, as far as they know, could be, looking down the barrel of a B split. They've lost all that control.
Yeah, Som though can get back into tower on B side with that ultimate. Able to reinforce pretty effectively, and they're looking to really clear mid now. An odd timing for it. Brock won't see anything though.
EDG's execute stalled out by the mollies on main. Another now from Ethan.
Nobody's dug enough into that corner that the fragment doesn't affect him. Here comes a paranoia, and in they come. 3 spotted off that 0 Point, and Ethan needs to get the work again. It's going to be Jenny up in this corner. Scuba highly mindful of it this time, and again it's Ethan
Odin Master. Hey. Gelo.
And pray. Scuba good for one. Always seems to be the case in that position. Jenny's able to get in there and finish the job. He's down to 10.
Pretty shocking, honestly, that EDG are able to make that work, but respect to them. NRG were fully stacked up on that site.
I think vindicating at the end of the first half to return to the scene of the crime and find great success on a very clean B hit, all things considered. Really competitive first half. Great to see that recovery from EDG.
They were able to make the right adjustments at the right time when it looked like things were just spiraling out of control, and we've got another close game.
Ball from Corrode on the other side of these messages.
Let's go.
Keren sih punya tuh apa? Cash-nya. Mau beli cash-nya dong bisa gak? Enam sama NRG versus EDG. Sengit juga ya. Woi, apa nih?
Bingung mau nulis apa?
Apa ini?
Gampang di Canva. Tulis.
Iya kan Pak, iya. Iklan anjing. Kaget gue kan. Gue kira dari e-sport Valorant nih.
Rounds into Corrode, and it is a tied game, folks. We're Coinbase econ report here to kick us off, and Kung had a very important 3K round. He definitely has the measure of Ethan in this game, where he's able to help his team finally claim that B-side against the Null command of all things.
And it is important, honestly, that he was getting so many kills on Ethan, because he was a critical part of those anchors, especially towards B, where they did find success at the end of that half, able to tie things up. It was an impressive showing, and outside of even just the individual play, it seems like Kong is really keeping his team hyped up, keeping them in the game mentally as well.
They're really important, I think, for Jenny as well. They mentioned he's someone who they really want to set up for success, trying to keep his head in the game. He's got a tough role in the Neon, right? Quite often was moving into that B site, taking some space, getting traded at best, and sometimes just getting flattened. So making sure your other duelist is at his best, still feeling good about himself, crucial, and allows EDG eventually to figure out how to break that NRG side hold before the end of the half.
The last time we saw NRG playing attack on Corrode, they got 11 rounds against Sentinels in that lower bracket final. Absolute dominance. Can they repeat a performance like that? Are EDG ready to stave off how strong they are on this side of the map?
Buset, NRG Som klasiknya pakai PRX tuh. Gue lihat-lihat.
A little quieter to start this one off. And Brock as well, someone who we sort of hyped up a little bit, said watch out when he gets the Odin in his hands.
Yeah,
wasn't really able to do much with it.
For a very good reason, but
time to jump. Yeah, not this time around.
Said it was a rarity that he didn't get a lot of value with it, and that is the genuine truth. Very uncommon that he's not able to put up numbers with that weapon. NRG, they're pivoting over towards this A side. Have Scuba as a late lurk posted up in mid. Here comes the utils. 0 point broken, but Dark covers in and the dash from Mata.
Oh, light speed gets Mata right in Chichu's face, and he has to give up that space, but Mata is not
gila dirasa aja loh NRG, kita lihat di sini. Oh my god. Langsung aja di press. Langsung aja kelabakan dari EDG.
And they at least have control of A.
NRG udah dapetin setnya dia, langsung aja di plan. Info udah ketahuan di mana EDG berada.
Certainly wouldn't be an NRG series if we don't get a
triple pick dari NRG. siap menghantam EDG.
And the man has produced them with uncanny frequency
Kalau Seppi nggak
in
mungkin
Americas.
Yep. He is the all-time ace leader in the region, but Smoggy on for another pistol clutch, but denied by Som at the last moment.
Closer than NRG.
Hampir aja tuh.
You can see what Waylay offers you in these situations. Break that crosshair placement, threaten to overwhelm you very quickly. That's just a pistol round. You can see the ID from NRG, who want to make use of this guy. A real lightning bolt out there on the field.
It gets that first. There was a really cool little flash thrown at the ground from Ethan as well that fully blinded nobody, so Mata could get an easy second on that side anchor.
Good job, boys.
Man, if Smoggy did it again, he was so close.
So I'm able to stand up there and be the neutralizing presence NRG needed.
Stabilizes for the team, and now they have that second round bye, which involves a couple rifles, a couple pistols, and the one stinger for Mata on this entry towards Link in prime position to get his, but it's a fight down mid from EDG.
Dipres aja.
Wants a bit of it.
Sama-sama ngepres ini udah nih. Berantem sekalian udah. Berat kata.
Over the B, but there is an insert of Smoggy left top mid. NRG suspected. And of course have the penetrative power of the Vandal to try and dig him out.
And they're able to pick up the important guns onto some of the players who did just have pistols, and now go for the rotate towards that B side. A B side where the gate crash from Kong Kong has just been thrown to, so can get a fairly fast rotate there if necessary. EDG, they do want to commit to the effort of holding mid, catching a player there.
You see how important it was that Scuba stays alive in that early trade. It allows NRG to get out of mid, and Kong Kong's none the wiser that they're headed to be.
Convergent paths already from Mata. Wants to commit them just to ensure that they close this round out.
Well, a fair guess to assume there'd be an entrenched defender here for EDG.
And honestly, when you get them on round 2, I guess, sure, just send them. Let's make sure we win.
I believe we call that easy come, easy go, right? We'll play off the side.
Easy come, easy go.
Back and right on up here. Mata, of course, has a light speed to get in. No refract, though, to get out. Planted obviously pretty well out in the open. That dark cover's about to dissipate. Chichu spotted. Dancing the boxes in the background. There's a flash, but no attempt to actually play through it for NRG. Mata's hoping to get some information from above that wall, but sees very little. There's a gap here that Kong Kong might look to exploit. Not quite quick enough on the trigger finger, though. It's the Vandal that gets the better of him, and now Mata will step up for real. Some big frags in the second half. And NRG convert. Only one gun taken out of the round.
Now, much like the pistol, Smoggy just suddenly collects 2 at the end of the round. Significant damage done, and it'll be curious to see what the commitment economically from NRG will be now that we're heading towards EDG's first full buy. I mean, when you go into the bonus with the double rifle, double pistol, you're hoping to get a pretty legit bonus by going with rifles. That is not going to be the case.
No, there's going to have to be some...
I mean, unless they just hard force it.
No, Bulldog here, some on a Sheriff. Nobody instantly over towards the Odin as well.
So it is a mixed kind of half-by, really fast from Mata getting into that link. 0 point confirms a lack of presence. Kong Kong with the mid-swing. It's the first onto Ethan.
Makes it work with the Bulldog of all things. Mata just a little bit haphazard there, steps out into a double face. Very far ahead of the rest of NRG on a solo mission that goes wrong.
No desire to slow down. NRG not able to get off that A main ground to assist in time. Now look at this stack up from EDG. This should absolutely shred NRG when they round this corner.
Time for the kid to test the champs, I think. Relay Bolt's going to slow them up. There's a ping, though, on Jenny around the corner. Shock Dart to soften up Smoggy, who waded into its area of effect.
It gets a good amount of damage off onto these 2 players, but still, they are committed to just holding this together.
EDG also not moving off that B side yet. Swinging the double face. The dark cover breaks it up, though. Jenny down. This is dangerous now. Kong Kong puts it to bed.
CJK ini jomok bahaya banget.
Leading from the front.
Begins as well, taking that ISO'd fight against Ethan in mid. As just in this moment, flash out of that wall, didn't connect onto Kong Kong, and Mata so aggro in that moment. Seemed that he really thought he could catch one player, but I mean, even if he gets out first, there's an instant trade coming. It was very aggressive, and he got punished for it.
You've mentioned that NRG's group in Americas was populated by a lot of double duelist teams, but this might be the most talented team of that style they've had to go up against.
They're going up against the man that has the all-time BO5 kill record. All right, nobody with an instant frag onto Mata, who used that light speed to get in. Saw him in a really cheeky position.
Mata just crumpled there. That is all of the bark out of NRG. What is something here? G2 heads upstairs and says, "You're not supposed to be here."
Yeah, this attempt from NRG to go for a crazy, fast site exec with the teleport with the light speed is all for naught. Okay, Scuba somehow wins that out. Pretty shocked that he's able to do so.
Was able to get his gun up in time, but he's mindful that Jenny might have dropped down behind him. Kang is just causing problems all across the map here.
Yeah, it feels like he's in the walls at the moment. Brock is going to be able to get the spike plant down, but surely this is unwinnable. Actually, denied even of that by the utility coming through the haunt from the fade.
Comes Kang again. Still a plant. That's what Scuba has to work with, but he has 85 health. He's got 4 able-bodied individuals standing in between him and a round win. Make it 3. Tap on the spike.
Tajam banget, Cok. Scuba ini. Apa iya?
Oh my god.
Hampir aja, Is.
Perfect as well. Nobody was just fast enough. Oh my god.
That would have been the most degenerate thing I think I've seen. Yeah, frustrating for Scuba. Tantalizingly close to a legendary moment.
You do not see crosshair placement get better than that. Oh my god, he was ready as well. He had it in the perfect spot to get that kill.
Odin sih. Coba
But
nggak
he
pakai
was
Odin
just
itu.
a millisecond too slow.
Brandel. Hampir aja
Frustrating.
Ace.
That's definitely not something you want to weigh on you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He's having an insane performance. Nobody again early with the spray through those walls. Brook suffers as a result. An orb still secured for the attack side. Scuba just blowing off steam, maybe.
Mata didn't want to instantly swing through, was hoping that not revealing himself would allow him to get the trade. But it isn't the case. And this round is as good as done for NRG. EDG on for taking the lead in this game.
And that aura around NRG feels like starting to falter a little bit. The stopping power of these EDG defenders has unraveled them on multiple occasions. Some are simply seeing what he can get for his money.
Kong really just feeling himself at this point, hungry to take more fights, hungry to get more kills.
Sees Decayed down, TP across the way. Chichu mindful of it though. And Brook obviously completely elsewhere, fighting his own demons.
Headed into this next round. Want to take a look at the status of some of these ults because they are getting online for NRG, and can't say the same for EDG on the opposing side. This is a real opportunity for the team from Americas to put a gun round win together. They have that null command to get into a site. They have the Viper's Pit to close out a post plant. 2 potent ultimates that if used effectively should get them to 9 rounds.
Got to be mindful, of course, of what nobody's doing early in some of these rounds. Mata with the fast play over towards Link. Now, last time he just walked out and got picked off, so we'll see.
And this is a pretty standard open from NRG, but does he expect a reclear coming already from EDG? 3 players in mid.
No one covers him from bottom in here. He is alone in this position. And alone he will fall. Now they make control firmly in the hands of EDG. Null command now as the acceleration is the response into this B side, and nobody cannot stand.
He really overstays his welcome, maybe expecting even that a dark cover would have been thrown there, but it wasn't. And now the pit goes down. Now it's into the 4-on-4.
A lot of side control. You've got 2 players from NRG forging already into back halls.
Scuba needs to stay alive though. Kong needs the skill desperately, but Brock ready on the angle to support.
Odin in hand as well. That's going to be a problem when we come to this post-plant scenario. A very timely 0.6, 3 top mid.
This is a great reposition from Psalm as well. Getting into heaven, the backstab can activate at any given moment.
Jenny's going to try and accelerate over towards main, but there's far too high density of players here. Chichu in the pit, fighting for his life. Surely knows he's better off playing from outside and keeping this gun in hand. Spots Som in tower, and he will be judged.
And it is those 2 ultimates being used to perfect effect.
Sengit ya, 99.
The pit, the null
10,
command.
9, 9, 10, 10, 11, kejar-kejaran ini. Overtime lagi ya.
Done before.
Yep.
And so they're able to just isolate him completely to get that opening kill. It was a great idea.
It's not the first time Mata's been very much out at sea alone in some of those early scenarios.
It was just unfortunate that nobody goes down playing in heaven. I think maybe the dark cover was coming. Not exactly sure, but that was an important kill for NRG to pick up Regardless off, finally in the hands of Kong Scuba, removed instantaneously.
Absolutely brazen. Bro basically bathed in that molly from the Viper. Was happy to trade a little bit of health for the kill.
Mata on the verge of getting the conversion pass. Just one orb required at this point.
Won't do a whole lot to Kong, who's perched up here waiting for a push through B main. Mid really not explored at all for NRG yet. Jenny with a fairly safe posting top mid.
Gotta go.
Shoulder peeking at regular intervals as Ethan is yet to show himself.
Brock, a bit of a reclue towards A main. NRG have really slowed the pace at the moment. They need to commit a dark cover to obscure this top mid view. Danger. Virginia goes down to half HP.
Just warning shots though, but NRG are looking to scale up this mid control now. This is about to get ugly.
EDG, they want to pop out of this potentially. Smoggy on the angle.
Multi-phase, there's got to be some action here in mid, and there is. Jenny and Nobody able to find one each.
30 seconds.
I mean, unfortunately, Ethan and Mata, they're hindered.
All right, there it is. Light
Oh,
speed.
that is criminal.
Snaps the crosshair positioning entirely. Now Kung, who was positioned up in tower, gave up that spot to play back through spawn.
And now Ethan planting for Mata to keep playing in that link.
How aware are they of the tower position? What is that from Ethan? 5 points.
Gelo.
Well, 4 more than he needed.
That is just a pixel shot from Ethan. I can't believe NRG win out that mid fight. EDG have 3 players ready to activate on that contact from Smoggy. They fight in the smoke and they lose out. I mean, that is just a disgusting way to be able to get the fight isolated. What is that shot? Oh my god!
Ethan.
Same reaction.
Tajam bener, Cok.
Good job, Sarah.
Now you talked about the ultimate shot
Kejar-kejaran
for
nih.
EDG that were suffering.
10-9.
Well, very much the
Terus
opposite.
10
However, the
sama.
weaponry
Overtime lagi.
to match it.
Buzzit.
Wow, instant dimensional drift from Kong used right
to
down
see.
mid. He does spot out every single player.
Gate crashes over at tower. He doesn't want to go back that far.
Now the question is to what avail, right? But it is now allowing EDG to walk all the way up and position themselves in B main at the very least. They have full control. And if there's a pivot back from NRG to B, it could be dangerous. You have Nobody taking contact, and then Ginny tucked in the corner with the stinger. But NRG, they're slowing down the pace of the game now.
Rourke obviously mindful of this. Sat watching from the bottom of mid.
A lot of damage dealt to Smoggy and Ethan, respectively, in that little exchange.
NRG was aware that the weaponry isn't where it needs to be on the EDG camp. Jenny can supplement, of course, with an overdrive if you want to commit more into this half-bought round here. Kung chilling in pocket.
Smoke's being cycled on main. Of course, it's Paranoia ready to go from Smoggy, but it is temporarily deactivated.
That's a nice little fragment there on Kung. He takes a bit of damage, has to step up, and now look at the play with Paranoia. Chichu falls back. Paranoia comes from NRG. Now they're going to assert themselves on their way over towards the A side, and Marta's good for it. Chichu posts it up, completely flashed. And Nobody has to work his way in from mid.
But do you see that counter util from NRG after they're hit by that Paranoia? Immediately, Paranoia of their own, synchronized with that Saturate coming through. The 2 anchoring players blinded, hindered.
NRG lagi gila-gilanya sih.
Deleted with absolute ease from Mata press forward.
Obviously, outside of the fact that NRG take another big step towards a series win, it's a buff around economically where they don't suffer any casualties to the sheriff buy of EDG. Can build that foundation a little bit more. Now Convergent Path comes online for Mata, gives them something to say in the conversation of Ultimates, whereas EDG is still ready to leverage many of them to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, Ethan did throw out that no command very late in the round.
Siapa tuh? Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for the subscribe.
The entry into sight wants to ensure they pick it up and get to 11. Maybe regretting it a bit though, given the state of EDG right now. Would be nice to have the opportunity to turn some of those ults off, but that it will not be the case.
Now it is only relatively quote-unquote early in the series. It's our second map, but with a 32 mapper for Abyss, 32 rounder, excuse me. Corrode now going pretty close. That fatigue is going to start to set in. EDG in the last few rounds,
Kok nggak muncul ya?
had issues countering the movements of NRG.
Kalau ada yang subscribe tuh nggak muncul ya?
Right? They've been able to pick up kills. In fact,
Jadi kan nggak tahu kan?
NRG converting on some of these 4v5 scenarios. That messy mid-fight a couple rounds back feels like it was an inflection point. What do EDG have for us? Chichu with a vibe
Kenapa nih kok nggak muncul?
Nightfall for Nightbot.
Alertnya kok nggak muncul ya? Chatboxnya muncul.
This is going to be an accelerated B hit from NRG, throw in the convergent paths. Maybe again, Psalm goes for a from the shadows, TP's forward. He tried it last time.
I'm watching some frenetic pings from NRG in this direction. Looks like they want to hit this one hard and fast. Kung falls back, spotted out by the Owl drone. Here's the convergent path. Smarter still has that in the back pocket, no. He actually refracts it out of the sight.
Yeah, they want to draw out some of this initial utility, and they do it effectively. Now, what is the pace on a re-hit? It's immediate with the convergent path.
But it doesn't cover the elbow players. Marta still able to get in there and find Jenny. Brock down early in the round. Kung out of the open. Dragged off his horse. And now Nobu's going to fight his way out. That is sharp shooting. Scuba falls, but he's not ready for the close swing from Som. And so it falls to Chichu. As it has so often in this series. A gun round that EDG really pinned so many of their hopes on. It's up to him.
Just wants to get out of the smoke ASAP. Has the timing for the fight with Som. No instant swing.
Can he find his way through? Ethan close on the corner. Marta there for a double swing. It's not to be.
Wah, ente.
And so EDG are going to have to force to stay in the series.
NRG menang dong berarti ya. Belum tentu sih. 12 tuh belum akhir dari segalanya. Masih bisa aja comeback. Gila, tajam banget sih.
And that drop from Congo just a little bit too late. The timing's just not there with the flood off that Nightfall, and they're picked apart one by one. NRG have a great re-hit, getting in with a convergent pass after extracting util with that fake first hit.
Smoggy has no armor at all. Force the Vandal.
Just a glass cannon Vandal. Chichu playing within the pit to control all of B main.
Brock still wants to tap this orb, hoping that Chichu will show some traces here.
Brock does get it. Yeah, a little bit of danger to have the Vandal in that pit, not gonna lie, so Chichu doesn't go for much of a spam effort at all. In fact, doesn't spam at all. Kong is peeking through mid.
Yeah.
NRG, they're on the cusp of taking this series 2-0 after being down 11-2 on the first map.
We're looking for some prime 2024 Kung here. If EDG are going to have a shot in this game. Gate crash out, realize he doesn't really have the tools. Scuba, who's had a phenomenal series, a great map, has got himself nestled up towards A main.
Ethan walking his way up mid towards this link flash to get some of that space to apply some pressure. The majority of this NRG hit going to come through A main off this wall.
This provokes the re-clear of Link from nobody. Sends the Prowler in. So we're all lined up for A main. A hard hit coming in from NRG. It's going to be Marta first. Light speed. Jimmy though tucked in that corner. Deals with the waylay. Now though, all of them lit up. It doesn't seem to matter. It's Brock with the only gets the one. And the 0 point not able to be made use of. Brock's in trouble. Big trouble. And EDG fire back.
11-12. Apakah akan terjadi overtime lagi? Buset.
That paranoia from Smoggy had a serious connection. I mean, look at Mata. He was just blinded up. Didn't know where he was looking. Didn't know where he was dashing. Stun connection as well. Beautiful, beautiful stoppage power.
Ada Pandal, ada Panton, ada Odin.
At least the first part of it, but then doubles back to join NRG for a flood for A main that gets stopped in its tracks.
Tiga-tiganya nge-whiff.
NRG with two opportunities to close out this map. Mata back to this fast late take. Does bait out the paranoia and just refracts back to bottom mid. Wants to gather up with NRG, the rest of the squad who are poised to execute onto this B site. Brock could have a Hunter's Fury and a post plant potentially. He's just one orb away and he's going to get that in main.
Kung's gate crash here at B puts him right in the middle of the action if he's going to respond to a site.
And he is in.
Okay, I'm going to leak high behind the orb and now ready to
Buset, ngamuk kah? EDG ngamuk kah? 4 lawan 2. 1 Odin. Oh no. 2 melawan 2.
Brock up on the side, Spike stuck.
Gila juga sih Odinnya ini.
Scuba ready and has to go 1v2 on this swing out of elbow. Brock is not in a position to
double
up with him. Horn popped. Now he'll double back.
Diulti saja oleh EDG.
Brock spots the player jump on the side. It's going to be Jenny. Scuba has to deal with him now. Overdrive at the ready.
Odinnya tumbang.
Jenny picks Brock off. EDG
11-12. Apakah EDG bisa? Apakah dia bisa menciptakan overtime?
Chichu and Kong Kong do such a great job. God, that is sick. Yeah, this overdrive though, just too strong in a situation like that.
Buset.
Some frustration there for NRG, just trying to put this game to bed before EDG take it over.
And now, juxtaposed to Abyss, it's been them on match point, them struggling to close this out. One more for EDG to take us to back-to-back OTs, but to stay in this series. Just an unbelievable showing from both teams. Our 2023 champions winner in Ethan against the 2024 champions winners, starting this tournament off in amazing fashion.
And honestly for NRG, it's been a showcase primarily of what Scuba and Mata are made of in this series. Scuba with an amazing defense side. NRG now have had to throw caution to the wind on more than one occasion. And now, that hit towards B, you mentioned it, Kong Kong just materialized in the middle of a hit that was in progress and still finds 2 kills. The guy's got composure for days. Can NRG avert yet another
NRG 12, EDG 11. Apakah yang akan terjadi? Yang terjadi biarlah terjadi.
Brock has Honest Fury, Odin still to hand.
Kalau EDG nggak bisa bikin overtime atau nggak menang di round ini, terpaksa EDG harus masuk ke lower bracket.
Hush over the audience now. The weight of this round is clearly felt. Marta, where are we at? Okay,
dan match ini tidak ada map ketiga yaitu event. Begal kah? Gila sih.
Kong Kong now that sole player in mid, Jenny making his way toward connector. But NRG still have their Omen in the game, still have the util to put together a hit on B. And that's going to put Chichu yet again to the test.
That cover is thrown up mid from Ethan to kind of make it seem like they could be working up there, but Kong Kong knows that that is nonsense. He's pushed all the way down, but the pressure will be on Chichu. He's playing from elbow. He takes a lot of damage. A risk to get the molly off.
He doesn't want to give up this position. He's trying to hold it for as long as he can, but he eventually realizes he's got to concede.
Yeah, just routed over towards heaven. Wants to hold elbow to the best of his ability, and NRG, they're going to swarm him. They want to overwhelm this position.
They're running out of time.
They take it now. They slow down.
There's going to be players coming from top mid. Chichu can still set up here in tower. There's the paranoia, and that's the signal to go. Mata
dapat tuh, kecil banget tuh nyari semut tuh.
Chichu here knows Ethan is going to be sniffing at his heels. And on the side, Brock at least finds one. Needs more.
Waduh,
There's Ethan.
2 lawan 2.
Can make his way out with
Oh no.
Disrupts the defuse, and Ethan puts it to bed.
GG NRG. NT untuk EDG. GG bener feeling gua NRG. Kenapa gua rubah jadi EDG ya? Oh my god. GG. Gila, rata-rata 2-0 semua ya. Sentinel 2-0. PRX 2-0, NRG 2-0, gelo. Champion bro. Udah nggak ada tuh kata-kata respect dulu ya kan, atau apalah ala-ala itu udah nggak ada tuh. Kalau bisa cepat kenapa harus lama kan, berarti gitu. This is champion gitu. Setahun sekali ya, iya setahun sekali. Kalau VCT bisa beberapa kali dalam setahun. Dan ini puncaknya, Valorant Champion, gelo. Cik. Wah ini eksplosif nih kayaknya suaranya. Cik. Kencengan nih. GG untuk NRG. NT untuk EDG. EDG harus masuk ke lower bracket. Akan bertemu sama, nggak tahu sih, antara Fnatic atau nggak RRQ berarti ya. Dan ini kapan nih? Match-nya kapan nih match-nya nih? RRQ sama Fnatic. RRQ versus Fnatic.
Mada après cette masterclass. Mada, may I borrow you for a second? After the selfie, you've already... Wait, I'm on a... Congratulations, first of all, for this insane performance, both as a duelist and as a team. And the first question I wanted to ask you is, how did you guys manage not to give up at 11-2 on Abyss? How did you manage not to give up to get your confidence back? How was that?
I think we just stayed in the game the whole time. Doesn't matter how far behind we are, we're always going to climb back. Our mental is just too good as a team.
And I think we saw that in your mental as a duelist too. You were carrying on that first map.
Yeah, I was. I mean, thankfully the boys had me on map too. You know, Scuba, Sam played amazing. So thank you to them. We played good as a team.
You did, indeed. Donc première question, comment vous avez fait pour ne pas abandonner? Ils perdaient 11-2 sur Abyss. Comment est-ce qu'ils sont remontés? Tout simplement, le mental de la team. On est resté dans la game de A à Z. Et moi, individuellement, j'étais chaud sur Abyss. Mes teammates étaient là sur la deuxième carte, notamment Scuba, qui nous a fait aussi une masterclass. And I have another question to ask you is about the Odins. You know, we see Odins in the hands of your teammates, in Brogues, and also some, but never in yours. So, do you like the gun? And what makes this Odin meta for you guys so good?
If you guys see me use the Odin, then there's something wrong. There's something very wrong. So no Odin for me.
But what makes it strong according to you?
It's Brock. It's not the Odin, it's Brock.
Okay, it's your teammate basically, not the gun, right? And you just defeated, you know, like current champs holders, like winner holders. So who do you think will be the hardest team to beat now in Paris?
Team Liquid is probably going to be next, if I had to guess. So I think it's going to be a hard game. And I'm excited.
Okay, so you're seeing them winning the next match. Donc, deuxième question, il joue beaucoup à la Odin, les NRG. On a vu Brox, on a vu aussi son coéquipier Som qui la joue. Jamais Mada. Donc, pourquoi est-ce que tu la joues pas? Et ensuite, pourquoi est-ce que c'est si fort? Et bah, tout simplement, si jamais vous me voyez avec une Odin dans les mains, c'est qu'il y a quelque chose qui s'est mal passé. Et c'est Brox, c'est pas la Odin qui est forte, c'est vraiment mon coéquipier. Et je pense que Team Liquid vont être les plus difficiles à battre dans cette Champions. Thank you very much, Mada, for your time. Congratulations and good luck next. And speaking about next, we're gonna see in a few minutes who's gonna take the win between Team Liquid and GRX. Stay tuned.
Yeah, if these dogs want to fight, bro, let's give them the fight, you know?
Man, I'm just so much better than these shitters, man.
We're so good.
He's a noob. He's actually a noob.
That's what he does, man! Come on!
Come the f on. These guys are horrible. Let's win this game, guys. Let's win, man. Let's win.
Now that I'm a mom, things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
Let's go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hemaviton Fit and Health Festival 2025. Let's step up. September 21st, Plaza Utara GBK. Body Combat with Chico Jericho. Bound with Maudi Ayunda. Check our website and register now. Hemaviton. Healthy living, happy life.
Setiap hari dimulai dengan rencana yang matang. Dari outfit sampai motor, karena first impression matters.
Praktis tanpa kompromi. Keyless start, langsung jalan. Stylish, profesional.
Yakin pasti banyak yang notice. Tapi ya effortless kok jadi diri gue sendiri. Because being classy speaks louder. Semua yang gue butuhin muat, ringkas, rapi, dan siap kapanpun. Going to work, no worries. Riding OTW pulang juga percaya diri. Karena Grand Filano bukan sekedar kendaraan.
Tapi sebuah statement yang pasti approve. Effortlessly grand,
timelessly you. Grand Filano.
Stay classy,
stay easy.
Mika and Bella here with Mako of DRX. Now, Mako, DRX clutched this champ spot, and as somebody who's been to so many champions, what does this mean to you to be here?
아슬아슬하게 챔피언스 막차 티켓을 성공한 DRX인데요. 원래 엄청 많이 무대에 서보신 경험이 있는 만큼 이번 파리 진출이 어떤 의미가 있을까요?
일단은 다른 챔피언스보다 너무 불리한 상황으로 진출을 해가지고 일단은 개인적으로는 되게 뜻깊은 챔피언스라 생각을 하고 있습니다.
I mean, it's unlike the other champions that we were at. We were dealt the unfavorable cards coming in as the last seed, but yeah, I'm looking forward to enjoying every bit.
And one quick last question. IGL 누구예요? There's been a little roster discussion.
I'll say the English part. Who is the IGL, Mako?
Translating.
IGL 누구세요?
접니다.
Did you get that? It is me.
I did get that for the record. Yeah, Korean. Thank you very much, Mako. 감사합니다. DRX fighting.
You heard it there from Mika and Bella. DRX, they will be taking the stage very soon, and it will be under the leadership of Mako, not Australia. Bane is back on the team. He's confirmed to be playing today. I think all of these are surprises that we probably didn't anticipate. How exciting.
No, not at all. But, you know, if you lived under a rock after Bangkok and weren't following Pacific, you'd be like, okay, I guess it's normal, you know. Bane's still playing, just expectations. But it has been, Bane hasn't played a game with DRX in Stage 2, so this is a major change.
Yeah, he did play with them in a mid-season tournament, but other than that, you're right. He has not had VCT reps with this team in a really long time, and I always question moves like this prior to an event of this magnitude and this caliber. In between stages, sure. Right? You
next TL.
DRX. And the other, but you don't have 5-6 weeks to figure it out and make a playoffs run. It's do or die.
And for DRX as well, even the way that they made it here was a little bit all over the shop, right? You heard it. They didn't even make it here. By qualifying, they needed some points. They needed some help. Some teams losing and winning here and there. But they have always made champs. And when they've made champs, they have always made it out of groups.
Yeah, they have. That's what the history says. They're the masters of getting 5th or 6th place. And yet this group feels like it's going to be really tough, especially watching that first series, how competitive it was between EDG and NRG. So I think coming in with a strong showing here against EME's top seed is a really big indicator for them.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it a little bit earlier in the pre-show.
I don't know that DRX have ever looked this weak coming into a global coming into champs either. So while they do have a lot of that history of being prolific and performing in that situation, I'm much more hesitant to put money on that one. That one's tough.
Does that have anything to do with Bane though? Or does this buff them a little bit, Doug? That they're coming with Bane or nerf?
I almost, so my initial thought was, okay, you got a little honeymoon you can go through. But it's not like they haven't played together before, right? It's not like that. There is a completely new injection of talent and personality and voice and this, that, and the other. So this, I don't know. Have we ever seen something like this? Where an ex-player rejoins the team right before champs?
Honestly, maybe, but I can't think of it in the top of my head.
I can't run the numbers.
It's a unique situation.
Yeah, incredibly unique.
But I do think what DRX is maybe looking for with Bane, they're hoping and looking at scrims whatnot, is for some fragging power. I think that has been a little bit of a weakness with them.
Lewat jangan-jangan lagi.
Coming into the tournament, and I can hope that we see that from Bane. Mako too, Jero can get it done.
One of the benefits, however, of making it to champs is that our players are getting to sample the famous French cuisine. Here's Human enjoying the taste of Paris with Lou.
And I'm now joined by DRX Yunmin. Thank you, Yunmin, for joining me for this very special segment. We're going to get a taste of Paris together. Oh, yeah. And I heard you saying that you like French food, right?
Yes.
So, are you excited?
Excited.
Okay, so the first dish that we're going to try is obviously, do I have to introduce this one? The croissant. So you're going to have to answer a question that I'm going to ask you about the croissant. But first of all, you're going to try it. Yes, we are going to try one croissant. Okay. You can. Do you want to do it with your hands or with the fork and knife?
Is it okay to do my hands?
I think so, yes.
Okay, let's see one piece. Would you like a piece?
Please.
Do you want to do it yourself?
Yes, I can do it myself. Merci. Okay. So let's try it out.
Okay.
Croissant.
This is croissant.
This is croissant, right? Yeah. Do you see any difference with the croissant that you've eaten before? Like, what makes French croissant good?
I guess it's more flaky.
Gila, DRX ininya
like texture to it.
Yeah. More butter, I think. Also, there must be more butter in it. Also, so the question about the croissant, and I hope you get it right. So, is it true or false? A croissant typically can have as many as 55 layers of butter and pastry dough folded into each one. 55 layers.
55.
Is it true or is it false?
Sounds pretty interesting, so I'll say true.
And it is indeed true. Typically, they have between 27 to 55 layers of folded dough in a process called lamination. We're getting good here, Yunmin. First win for you and first croissant also for me. I think we can discover what the next dish is going to be. After croissant, we're going to have another very famous French dessert, which is crème brûlée. What does it look like for you? Appetizing, tasty?
It looks sweet. Something sweet.
Right. What are you expecting, like as a taste? Sweet? Any particular flavor?
Maybe something like yogurt.
Yogurt? Okay, let's try it out. You know what? I think this is one of my favorite desserts.
Tastes really good.
What does it taste like? Yogurt or better than yogurt, actually?
Better than yogurt.
Which one did you prefer? Croissant or crème brûlée so far? This one? This one, right? Yes. You will order it at the restaurant too. Okay, and last but not least, a very famous French dish that gave also its name to a film that you've watched, Ratatouille. So it's more of a main dish, you know, like salty dish. Do you want to try it out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You be honest if you like it or not.
Yes.
But it's very famous.
Good enough?
Yeah, of course it's enough. Don't eat too much. It's like French gastronomy, you know, only one bit.
It just looks... It tastes how it looks.
That's not a compliment. No, that is not a compliment for Ratatouille.
It tastes like tomato.
Okay, a lot of tomato sauce, right?
What I expected.
Okay, ready for the question?
Yes.
Ratatouille originated in Paris, France. It's a dish from
Tanggal
Paris.
15.
Is it true or is it false?
Fanatik. Fanatik tanggal 15.
It's true.
You would say why? Why Paris?
Something with tomatoes.
With tomatoes or from Paris? And no, it's wrong.
False.
It's false. Yes, it's originated, I think, from Nice, France, so south of France. You know, they make a lot of like dishes with vegetables. You know, like dishes you can eat in the summer, also that are not too heavy. You know, like big dishes. So no, it's false. But you got 2 of them right. So I think that's pretty decent. You passed. You passed the French exam. Taste of Paris. And I hope that you're gonna get to eat a little bit more in Paris, of course. I think that's all for us. And Yunmin is very ready to experiencing more French things.
Well, Heung-min passed the first test in Paris, but what's he been like over in Pacific? Has he been scoring full marks?
Absolutely. I mean, this guy was tearing it up. He leads his team just from the front to topping the group, and even though the squad sort of bombed out in playoffs, only won a single series, he still is second highest in the league in terms of ACS, so he was still putting up insane numbers.
Which is such a unique thing. Like, that's got to be rare to have a team bomb out the way that they did and still have a top performer competing the way that he has. I think if there is a little hope, if there is I don't want to say an X factor, but if there is something that can kind of convince me that, okay, maybe DRX does have a shot at this, maybe they can pull something off here, I think it kind of has to start with him.
And we saw him early at the start of the year on the global stage in Bangkok, and he had so many big rounds for the team. I think I was very impressed seeing his Yoru play in particular. Showed a lot of, I think, just proficiency on the agent. And while, again, that Bangkok tournament wasn't really the one for DRX, you showed that glimmer of what could be a star.
I mean, he has been, like you guys said, despite the thick and thin, the highs and lows, he's always been consistent, which I think is pretty fair to describe the way he's been playing so far. But he will be facing up against the #1 seed of EMEA, Team Liquid. They win a trophy domestically, and Trex is back at Champs. Not with Team Vitality, but with Team Liquid, and he looks amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, Trex, not T-Rex.
Yeah, we call him
Some
Trex.
people think it's T-Rex.
The crazy thing is that Trex was playing against Hyunmin and the rest of DRX back at Bangkok with Vitality. But I think ever since he joined this Team Liquid roster, this is just a squad that cannot be stopped. Drop a single series, and he's just putting up consistent numbers.
It is interesting to hear the discourse around Team Liquid. They come through this as the #1 seed. They look really good on the roster. They have some incredible players individually. You talk about Trex, you talk about Nats. Obviously, he has to be mentioned every time. He's household at this point. But there isn't a ton of confidence.
Why is that,
in the team? And I'm really
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm really curious as to why.
Do you have confidence in Team Liquid?
Well,
my opinion is irrelevant, but
I was going to say I don't necessarily, but there is that discourse where there are people who don't feel as confident in Liquid and their performance here, and I'm just really curious as to why.
They just hate us.
I mean, the last time they were first seed in the EMEA coming into Champs was 2023, and that was not the
they're just
same
haters.
story, so.
I think they're just haters. I mean, we're looking at a Liquid that has an IGO and a Nats on the attack side, and also a caller like Trex on the defense. And when you put these two together, it's
should work,
crazy.
Right? Me personally, I'm a Team Liquid believer, and this time they're coming into a global, and Nats is here on day 1. Isn't that great?
Hey, let's celebrate. That actually deserves a celebration. But they also have a fantastic coaching staff. In fact, Yeltsin, their assistant coach, actually manifested this match against DRX. Take a look at this.
Hopefully we're gonna get DRX and gonna see who is the best basically on this map. So yeah, hopefully the group is versus DRX.
And the map he's referring to is Abyss, because you guys both mentioned it as well yesterday. Having Abyss in the map pool dramatically buffs Liquid and DRX. Who does it buff more? Can we even tell at this point? You know, how we already saw a stupidly exciting Abyss in the first game. This should be even better.
I mean, these are undefeated, right? You know, this one right here. I don't know who it buffs more, to be frank, but whoever wins this one is just the best Abyss team at the tournament, yes?
Yeah,
we agree. It's been 6 months, so let's just pretend.
Over. Yeah, I do think it's early enough, though, that I would argue that when I think about the longevity of the tournament, I would love to see a really strong performance out of DRX here if we're gonna believe that they have a shot at this.
Yeah, and they have to win more than just Abyss, because on the other side you have an IGL who MVP'd at the finals.
Yeah.
He's frags, he's speeches, he's a hype, he's literally everything. And even when you say to him, do you feel like you're doing too much? He says, yeah, I do a lot, but that's my job. Like, I need to do a lot. I want to do a lot.
Also, he can do a lot. Yeah. I think he is one of the most impressive players in Stage 2, and I'm not talking EMEA, I'm talking globally. He really can do it all, and I think if you watch his performance just in the finals alone, calling circles around GX and the individual play, it was all there.
And you think about it, they've been at the teams that he's been on have asked that of him for really his entire career. And he has consistently delivered, and then staggering to think the kid he's 23. He's incredibly young. He has so much experience already. As I mentioned it earlier, he's a household name.
Yeah, and the Champs Trophy's always eluded him. Who knows? This time it could be his, but we can't talk about Nats without Kiko. Luckily, Mika Fats caught up with him a little bit earlier.
Mika here, and I'm with Kiko of Team Liquid. Wasn't it your birthday a few days ago?
Yes, it was.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you. Well, Team Liquid have really gotten their stride in Stage 2. So I'm wondering how you guys are going to be able to continue that momentum and progress heading into Champs.
I think that we just focused on playing our own game, playing to our strengths, and just working on the fundamentals. I think that's what's going to bring us over.
Well, best of luck to you, birthday boy.
Thank you so much.
I mean, Kiko has also been one of the reasons that Liquid have been successful. You know, the secondary duelists, roll swaps, the smokes. At least in EMEA, he is considered the best in that role. I don't know how you guys feel about him coming to a global event and I guess measuring up to the other controllers in the
tournament. I know. I'm a big believer in Kiko, even since watching him back in the Ascension days, trying to qualify into EMEA. But I think he's very strong, and the rest of Team Liquid, I have them, picked to win this series. This is not a Team Liquid playing musical chairs with Penny and Cyril or whatever, trying to get Nats back into it as well. No, this is a Team Liquid that's coming in as top dogs into this tournament out of EMEA. I got a lot of faith in them.
Well, these two organizations have never faced each other before, and we're better than the Champs stage to settle it. Let's bring our teams onto stage and see who comes out on top. It's Team Liquid versus DRX. It is the #1 seed of EMEA versus the Pacific team that barely just scraped through to make it to Champs. But for Mako, he is one of 3 players that's made every single Champions tournament in the history of Valorant. And the one time he played against Nats, when Nats is on Gambit, he did lose. So this is a very, very historically rich matchup, despite the fact these orgs have never played against each other.
Yeah, you've even got the history of this year where Trex did play against this DRX team, and Trex also got the dub versus Mako back then. But the thing we all have to be freaking out about is Abyss is map #1. 2 of the best Abyss teams in the world back when it was in the pool back at the start of the year. This is our first time seeing them on the field of battle in a long, long time.
And for it to open the series, too. I mean, we're talking about a tone setter. You know both of these teams are playing into their strengths, as we talked about, and yes, it's been a long time. So who knows what either of these teams have prepped as far as composition or how they're
gue mau main ya.
This is the perfect
maintenance.
For this year. And what I find really interesting, Team Liquid picking defense on a map that has been historically so attack-sided. I don't know what's going on there, if they have specific ideas they want to run, but I mean, even in our first series, seeing Abyss still being so attack-sided, no changes to the map, that is certainly a choice out of Liquid.
Yeah, and both teams, they believe they're the best Abyss team. They're both very confident on what they can bring on Abyss. And for Liquid in particular, they are very, very good in the preparation phase.
Jet mau jatuh tuh kulkas.
They like to throw their opponents off, and they also are very well prepared when they get going on as well. But this Abyss,
mau jatuh tuh kulkas. Red Bull.
We're going to see the best of both teams.
And here's the thing is, I think just focusing on agent select is really interesting because the meta has changed a lot in terms of what has been popular on the map. Back when Team Liquid were playing it, they were playing like the old Ascent default comp with a Cypher in there for Nats, but you're seeing Jet, single smokes, a KO in the team. When DRX were playing it, that's with the Teo still in the play, because that was back when Teo was so strong at the start of the year. So I would be honestly surprised to see them running the same comps in this day and age.
This bind is interesting as well, because we have this old saying of everybody knows what Nats does. He doesn't change up how he plays, but why is no one beating him? How is it that you could come and say, yeah, we know what Nats likes to do. He likes to go here, he likes to do this wall, he likes to lurk here, but he doesn't lose.
Yeah, because he likes to do a lot of different things. You might know a lot of his plans, but he's going to change his timings. He's going to change that plan based on what he sees against you on the other side. He's got one of the best minds for the game in Valorant on the current day.
And he's also so mechanically gifted that even if you do know what he's going to do, there's a good chance he bests you anyway.
Yeah, and sometimes with an outlaw in your spawn, which is always really fun. But for DRX, so you know, this is the best condition they can be in. Qualifying for champs, having Abyss in the pool, and looking like the ages we're going to see Waylay Yoru.
That is unbelievable. Waylay Yoru is crazy.
Yeah. And we're sticking to the vanilla Ascent comp.
Gila sih, berarti nih DRX W Gaming sih ini.
I'm a bit surprised that this is Team Liquid's approach, and I don't know that I could be more surprised that this is DRX's approach.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about the theory here right now, and what I think for DRX is, I think the ultimate of the Yoru. The Yoru, it makes a lot of sense.
Right,
I'm expecting, we've been seeing a lot more teams. In the previous meta on Abyss, teams would play pretty passively offside, they wouldn't fight forward. I think there could be options with the Waylay to, if you're execing to A, fight up into heaven. If you're execing on B, jump over books, fight towards art.
Yeah.
I want to see an active approach from DRX.
Of course, Liquid, they're still hovering. This is not locked in. And Nats, he likes to hover and agent select because he likes to take this time to give speeches, to hype individual players on his team up, and to remind them what they need to do.
Because he's the type of player, he'll go down the list, player
one by one.
player.
And the best part is he's always, look at him, he's telling individual players, and then he goes to Kiko and he's like, never change, I love you, you're the best, you're perfect, you never do anything wrong.
And why would Kiko ever change anything? Because he's perfect, he never does anything wrong, he's the best.
All right, they have locked in though, so Doug, you spoke about a default, very, not very innovative.
No, and I mean, I don't even want to say it's comfort. I mean, we'll see how it does against
But it is comfort.
Yeah, we'll see.
We have a lot of recognizable faces on the stage today, so why not add
Siapa yang akan masuk ke lower bracket Team Liquid alias TL atau DRX?
Team Liquid and DRX facing off here in Paris, each one wanting to prove that they are the best team on Abyss, and it's map number 1. Can I get a prediction from you going into this game, Thomas?
Honestly, I was going for 2-0 for Liquid, because they're the first seed, obviously, but after seeing Hyunmin try the croissant and creme brulee, I'm kind of going for 2-1. Especially, I'm excited to see that Waylay on Abyss now.
Yeah, excited to see the Waylay with the Paris buff as well, the French buff, and I
feel like sama-sama botak, sama-sama botak.
What's happened here?
Mana Derka main di mana sekarang ya? Udah nggak main, pensiun ya?
You're looking a little different.
Pensiun, Derka pensiun.
Suspicious, I'll be honest.
Too much knowledge.
Never saw you do your hair like that. So it's time to get into the matchup. Team Liquid and DRX Abyss. This is what it all comes down to. It's map number 1. It won't decide the series, but it will decide who the world looks at as your best team on this map. A map that's recently made a return, but these teams were known for being strong on it way back when it was in the pool earlier this year.
Yeah, I'm excited for what we've got coming up here. Obviously, I'm sure my counterpart did a fantastic job of going through everything that we've got coming up. The arena's quite loud, so I didn't hear anything that was said, but I'm looking forward to seeing that Waylay coming into play. A lot of space that can be taken, especially kicking things off on the attack side for DRX. And as we've already seen today, a pretty hefty attack side dominance out of both sides in our first matchup.
Well, a minute 10 on the clock and blood yet to be drawn. A slow approach from DRX, but the same level of patience shown from the defensive side, spread across the map and looking for those little pieces of information. But DRX are the ones to gain the benefit of this slow play as they manage to pick themselves up an orb towards that A side. Of course, ult's not going to be in play in this round, but it's all about the future. For now, we look towards the B site. A trap in play, 2 players standing by to take this fight. The DRX are going to be bursting through with full force. Waylay already closing the distance and finding some info.
Yeah, we'll be able to retreat back. Camo only just spotted, but it's the openers going the way of DRX, and Trex has been dealt with as well. 2 players on the rotate, but I'm looking at that flank coming out from Freeing. I wonder if he's been heard. I think he has. Paditek just pop flashing back in the other direction, but even just the time that is being bought is going to cause Liquid quite a lot of issues.
At this point, that flank all the way around is probably what's going to seal the deal if the site players don't. One of the things that Tom Biz #1 was saying was, Hyunmin, he's got the French buff. He's had his croissant earlier on, his creme brulee, his ratatouille, but now he's gone out of the round and the defuse already tapped. Pressure put on. Kiko lands the shot on the flashback and they need to find it. They're quick.
Dapat. Hampir.
Just about getting there in time.
Hampir aja tuh, berapa detik tuh? 0,01 detik.
Yeah, I think someone somewhere is going to be quite frustrated with that. Probably the Liquid fans, because that looked so desperately close from a position of, I want to say, impossibility.
0,01 detik tuh. Itu udah full aja.
That's actually outrageous. That's completely outrageous.
He thought he had it. I thought he had it.
0.01. He had it. In everybody's minds, he had it, but it will be 1-0 for DRX. Already a good start for DRX, and of course, going back to the beginning of the year, these are 2 teams that absolutely adored this map. I was going to say that Liquid coming in are going to be even happier with the map pool changes. Icebox going out has helped them quite a bit. But in 2025, get that guy back. It was 5-0 for Liquid, but 3-0 for DRX. And now we are back to that roster of DRX that kind of started out the year. There's been so many different changes, so many people coming in and out and all about, but this was the roster that they wanted to look towards. It is a very slow round from DRX, patient.
As it should be, really, with what they're up against. You don't want to give these pistols the chance, but I mean, the problem is executing blind into a site. It has its risks, and I think that's one thing that Hyunmin is here to help out with, the ability to use the refract, his quick teleport back in the other direction as he runs into the site, grabs them point of contact, and fades back out. We saw it in the pistol round with great value, and here it's used to scout out that, there's nobody.
Spike planted.
We don't
hiding
do that
in those
round
corners. There's no big stacks. Yeah, Lothar's disappointed, but it will be the way to go. You don't want to give those orbs over to the rest of the squad.
Daripada
It's just better
menyerahkan
to go down to the map,
buat
deny
ketembak.
DRX those orbs that they have been farming up, and a key point being flashback 2 away. So those final 3 kills, if any of them landed in his hands, that could cause big problems for Team Liquid's full buy. That's why they go diving off.
Yeah, have a little bit of fun flying through the map, but this is where things should get that little bit more interesting. Rifles across the board for Liquid, and of course, just touching base on expectations here. DRX, form-wise, well, it took another team eliminating Talon for them to actually make it to the event in the first place. Liquid, on the other hand, champions of EMEA with a flawless 3-0 victory after attending every single international. These 2 teams should, in theory, be at different levels, but we're yet to see Liquid take the board.
Well, this is where that should change. They've got rifles, but they've not got nats. Hyunmin landing that shot from afar, and now Team Liquid on the retake. They're forced into a fight, close range against weaker weapons. Camo and Trex do well to start, but it's still a 3v3. The spike planted. The time not quite against them yet. There's still plenty to work with. Great flash from Flashback. And that's going to put the numbers into favor for DRX. 1 HP on Flashback, a drone going through though, and that's going to stop a defuse. Even going to get the tag on Trex, so more time taken. And as it ticks away, that spike getting closer and closer to its final moments. Kiko traded out, and now Trex in an impossible situation. He has to bait them into a fight. Patience from DRX is what will win the day for them. It's too far gone. He'll make them pay for the round, but it's DRX 3-0.
Tapi nggak dapet.
Yeah, such an important start. I mentioned about this attack side and how things have been going in the matches we've seen so far. But this was I'll be honest, a relatively weak fight. There was a Marshall in the mix. That's ridiculous. And then the rifle went down to 1 HP immediately. It was just, I want to say, the balls from Bane. He just didn't really. He was like, no, I'm not swinging until I absolutely need to. And that was enough to buy that time off the clock. Someone only just coming back into the roster.
Energy's good.
I'll be honest, it looked like he never left.
Well, that's another thing, right? You talk about Team Liquid. They look dominant regionally. Look at that grand final against GX, who ended up making waves here in the international scene already in their opening matchup yesterday. So for DRX, a team that has had these roster changes back and forth, you expect them to look a little weaker. And against a Goliath-like Team Liquid, perhaps a fall. But Pacific's number 4 is in here, and they are making waves indeed! It's an ambitious play from Nats. Back on the KC server
pro
now.
player aja ya, pro player
This
ya.
one's looking like a 4-0, but
Sekelas Valorant champion aja kepleset coy di
if it is
base.
a flawless round from DRX.
Kepleset di base.
Never mind. It's not going to be. Already won at least for Patatech. It will be an upgrade onto the Outlaw, but it's only going to really be deadly to one of the players. He'll likely want to do some damage and then go down. Holding onto it's not really going to have too much value for the next round. For Camo, it's that same sort of talking point.
Itu sekelas player ya, pro player ya. Masih.
Can they do? As of right now, it's not looking very much. They are far enough out already from that spike. They will be able to escape. Nice shot from Patatech. That's at least one. Now the rest have to cross over into the same corner that you already see Marco in. It's whether he can do anything more. And
he can remove the weapon.
Yep, I was going to say, it was going to be close though. Like, he almost didn't hit the point of demise quick enough and then would have just had that into the next round.
Oh, flashback gets the credit
Ini
anyway.
base diciptakan buat bunuh diri ya.
It's 4-0 up.
Yep.
Oh, there's no need to show that again. And again.
I'm locked in.
Oh, Andy. Yeah, that knows what he did. But for DRX coming into this round, yes, both teams are now on rifles. So for Team Liquid, that
pro
should be a chance to
tuh.
fight back on square footing. But ultimates in play on the other side make this a little bit of an uphill battle for the
Jadi
defense
bukan tidak
side,
mungkin.
especially thinking about how much impact you can have popping that Yoru ult alongside Sova. The two together, Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury,
pro player pun
can
juga
easily net you not just space, but a pick.
Ada aja juga begitu. Tapi emang abase ini mapnya anjing sih.
Early destruction.
Map bangsat nih, keramat banget.
Clearly knowing the positions that Nats likes to place them, which I'll be honest is impressive. He's normally very well known for being flexible and where that utility is put into play. But those already being removed, it leaves him at the back of the site. Now there is still the cam in the corner, ready to catch them as they walk out, and an immediate dash in, but Trex is ready for it. An advantage.
Gila, TL belum dapat ini, belum dapat map controlnya. Mencoba nge-break. Nge-break untuk nge-retaking DRX.
Yeah, in fact, it's not going to have any real impact here, you'd imagine. An element of surprise gone. They know there's a player, but, well, close to heaven. They don't know that he's on the left side, but
Suaranya kok kiri doang?
walkout is going to come elsewhere towards the spawn. Flashback already watching forward. He'll find his first fade back. Gate crash to fall back on out as the ult is popped. Two spotted. Fring knows that he probably has a target coming his way. Ready for the fight towards the vents. They're suspicious of it. Swing from Camo.
Suara kok jadi kiri
The
doang?
numbers kept even as the spike keeps on ticking. This is a round Team Liquid desperately need. And the defuse inside the smoke puts the pressure on. Already hurt to half. Dropout punished. And this round goes to Team Liquid.
Akhirnya DRX pecah telur.
By a narrow margin.
Asia Pasifik melawan EMEA. Kandangnya TL nih.
Solid fight back, especially from Flashback, who has really got off to a flying start. 8-4 playing the Euro, of course, known for more of that sentinel role within the team. But clearly having that individual brilliance that can turn around on its head. As you mentioned, it is the first round onto the board for Liquid. But it's still going to put them in a very interesting spot economically. In fact, this next round may be worth both teams somewhat on the brink.
Camo may look like he has a weakness, but as we get to his POV, you can see Blade Storm in hand. Looking for the fight from far away. Ult comes in a little late from Patatech, so site clearance comes in. DRX able to gather themselves at least a bit of control, you would imagine, but they stall out. Kept back by the smoke. Kept back by the ultimate of Patatech as well, as they can't use their abilities to break through to this site. It's going to cause delay. Camel's down to 20 already. That's a phenomenal spam. And Hyunmin still with a full utility belt. They didn't get caught out. The timing didn't catch them. They'll still be able to have a pretty decent sight hit with that free recon, essentially.
Already. Oh, it's a very awkward fight, and spotting out Camo. He's decided to go aggressive, but he's been caught from behind! The flashback takeover! They were so busy watching where Hyunmin went that they've ended up losing the rest of the site. A singular shock dart kill for Trex. But I'm just looking at Nats. He's not fighting this. He's got no interest. In fact, just going to go sit within his setup. DRX are going to have themselves a 5th round, and it all comes back off, again, this double duelist. It is just putting the defensive side into disarray.
Well, you can see from Team Liquid's perspective on the B site, the whole idea is that they're going to stop you from breaking through that choke point. And they do that with Patatek's utility, stalling them out completely. But the problem is you have Flashback being able to just make his way in without actually challenging, while Hyunmin is taking that initial contact and is unpunishable, essentially. As he dashes in, immediately refracts back to B main, and that's Flashback's moment to take advantage of the chaos, ripping the back line of Team Liquid wide open. And as you said, immediately that call is made by Nats. We're not playing this retake. Even though they'd found one, the 2v4, not worth it when the weapons are, as you said, in start, not in a good spot. Economically, they were being punished already. But the Blade Storm made up for it the next round. That won't be there.
Yeah. Well, I really love the way they're using the refract. It's like Hyunmin's goal is to almost look at me. Like this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go in, I'm going to find info, and then I'm going to retreat back. And at the same time as he's retreating, Flashback is going forward. And so everybody, and rightly so, is focused on the guy who's just dived into the site. And they don't realize how far Flashback managed to get. Like, you can even see from the aggressive position of Camo, he's trying to blade storm the players down on the other side. He doesn't even know there's a guy behind him.
Yep, this is a problem. When you combine that with the utility thrown in towards the back of the site, which I believe it was Mako's paranoia, it would have sent Kiko running towards the spawn. I mean, that's the guy that should be covering the angle that Camo was leaving open behind, the angle that was taken by Flashback. It's so well put together by DRX. That is a beautiful set play. And for Team Liquid, and even with the disruption of Team Liquid, the set play still works. For Team Liquid now, they call a pause, and of course they do. 5-1 down. And this isn't just 5-1, but you know what, guys? We haven't gotten in our rhythm yet. No, your rhythm is being disturbed. You are dancing to DRX's tune, and you're tripping all over yourself. 2 left feet, and they've got to course correct soon. A 4-round gap doesn't seem like much, but this could get out of hand if DRX continue this momentum. And think about the 1 round Team Liquid won. It was still extremely close.
Well, yeah, and something to talk about as
Ini
well.
RRQ
You're seeing those trips being shocked. You're seeing positions clearly being well known. Even though this is a slightly different Liquid roster, compositionally, it's all the same. So I feel like DRX, with the amount of extra time they've had to prep, knowing the game well in advance for that first match of the tournament, this is seeming like a well-drilled side. And Liquid, well, if they did prep for the comp that they're currently up against, they've probably prepped for everything, because I don't think most would have seen this coming.
Right here. Now, I don't mean to peel back the curtain too much and sort of explain how the trick is done, but that wasn't actually Tom earlier. That was Durka. I hate to spoil the magic for all of you at home, but one of the things that he said when he saw that agent select come up was that he's a huge fan of Waylay. And honestly, and he also said he thinks Hyunmin's going to do fantastic with the buff from the Croissant earlier on. Now,
yeah, I didn't say that.
If he is a fan of the Waylay already, I imagine watching DRX use it is either just confirming that opinion or maybe even building on it, because the way they're using it is so damn nice combined with Flashback. This double duel is doing so much work, and Team Liquid's job shouldn't be to work on this round. It should be to think about the next, but they've already managed to make it competitive. Oh man, I thought Camo had the play, but they spammed through the smoke.
Spike planted.
Yeah, Nats as well, incredibly low. He did take a hit. Because of that, once again, looks to fall back and just save the weapon. It really feels like that has been the majority of his game so far. We've talked about him a lot. In EMEA, he was tearing everybody a new one, and one of the sort of most exciting storylines for me coming into this match is him playing against Marker, a rematch of that Gambit versus Vision Strikers back from 2021. That was the last time they played against each other. It's one hell of a storyline with a lot of parallels. A superstar turned IGL, looking like a veteran at only 23 years of age. Well, right now, Nats hasn't showed up yet, which I don't think is something I've said for ever.
Oh, we just cast the whole of stage 2, and I can confirm, first time I've heard that out of your mouth. Maybe like in a pistol round, like one single time.
Yeah, but I don't think I'd say he hasn't turned up in a pistol round.
Yeah,
You know?
it's been one round. It is definitely alarming. Seeing how this is playing out, a great sign for DRX, again, with the adjustments they've had to make with the constant roster shifts. Bringing back the start of the year look, and I mean perfectly timed with Abyss coming back in from the start of the year, I suppose. Everything slotting into place. This Waylay, this Yoru, sensational, and we're only starting to see, you know, the first few pages of the playbook. There is definitely more behind this, and Team Liquid, if they lose this one, they're going to be terrified of what's to come.
Oh, Camo. First point of contact, he sort of swapped positions again. Shock dart directly onto the trip. They have read his playbook. It seems like every single one of them has been perfectly positioned to just remove Nats' utility. But at least for now, it is a 5-player build-up in towards that A site. Trex has his ult, but is incredibly far away. I don't think he's going to have any impact in this round. And on the other side of things, immediately we'll see the popping of that dimensional drift. That's all the info they need. And they're trying to throw Util just to give nothing for Panatek, but he does survive.
Site being pressured, but around the side comes Patty, still able to find another before going down as the 3 versus 2 comes into play. Hunter's Fury to push them back 35 seconds, but no way to deny this plant now. It will come through, and it's on Hyunmin to find something from here. If he gets this, he's got another Refract online. This could be huge. Or DRX to get back into this play. The drone thought about by Trax, and he'll wish he put it through. A huge punish from Hyunmin, but he falls eventually, leaving Mako alone. It's a great start. His util's been well placed, but now he's got to do it rifle in hand. Nats holding him, and the bullet connects to the head. Team Liquid 6-2. It's not great, but hell, it's a start.
Yeah, it's something. And then that's Nats. Okay, it's his second kill, but it's his first impact kill. The last was in the last round where they basically already lost it already. But that was him versus Marco, the matchup I was talking about. And even still, it's desperately close. You still see like that utility being destroyed on one side of the map. It's aggressive, double dive style of play that is so difficult to hold against. Nice. Liquid.
Bravo, good job.
Have got themselves a second round. As said, we watched the game earlier and it was incredibly attack-sided, but
6-2. Apakah TL akan kalah?
Many a time applying a single brush to every single team would be madness. Speaking of madness, this is so aggressive.
Waduh.
They are not playing like a team that's down 6-2, and that's exactly what you need to see. The spike taken, Bane spotted, and he is dead to rights in this corner. How many can he take with him? And it's only one. The start of the bounce back for Team Liquid in the previous round, and they have skyrocketed to success now. But still, 6-3. They have to lock it down for this half.
I respect that call. We talk about Nats this year coming into his own as an IGL. The fact is you just sort of get through your second round of the entire game. You yourself not having the best individual game. What do you call? Let's rush it down B. I respect it. Like, it's bold.
We talked about this in yesterday's series as well. This is what's important. Being able to change it up, not play just one style. Have more than one hymn sheet to sing from, and then
doing it again.
Some serious
Buset. Ace kah? Oh no.
DRX shut down in these last 2 rounds. The same spot, a slightly different seasoning, but the dish is the same. Team Liquid 6-4.
I'm sorry. So you call that twice in a row? Like it is still the majority of this defensive side. Like, it was only Dan lurking in mid, I guess, getting the early information. The rest of it, like, this could be the replay of the last round. Like, I would not be able to tell the difference. They died slightly further back. I guess that's the only difference.
The only real difference is that, like, they went for the window push, so it was a much deeper aggression, whereas this time they're in almost a Congo line, ready for the window peak, thinking DRX will think we gave up that control. Let's fight for it now. They'll swing out and they'll get taken down by the firing squad. And instead, the firing squad wasn't needed because they had Kiko.
Do you reckon
Ini game capture gue kenapa nggak bisa masuk ya? Bar. Kok keluar sih? Ya udahlah. Sabar. Gue mau lihat ini dulu. Aduh, salah lagi. Grup C gue salah dah. Grup A bener satu. Bener dua-duanya grup A. Grup C salah dua-dua. Belum satu udah salah.
After a dominant start for DRX, it's neck and neck at the half.
Absolute crazy recovery coming out from Liquid. 6-1 down, 6-6 on the half. It is all to play for. We'll be back after the break.
Blade boker. Kayak si DRX nih menang dah.
Halo Rangga jadi andalan buat menunjang bisnis saya lebih sigap daripada sebelumnya. Halo Rangga tuh nyaman, gak bikin kita cepat capek lah.
Enak masakan ibu. Ibu yang nanya. Serat karena sakit tenggorokan. Pakai betadine mouthwash and gargle. Bantu atasi sakit tenggorokan dan permasalahan mulut lainnya. Jangan berhenti ciptakan momen bersama.
Well, this was swings and roundabouts, really. One side, DRX dominant to begin, and then Team Liquid climbing back into it as we get into our Coinbase Econ report. You can see our highlight here, Camo. He certainly stepped up towards the end of that first half.
Yeah, he didn't like Marco, it seems. It did a lot of damage to him, and no surprise that versus Flashback, it's not gone too well. But yeah, realistically, this game has been madness. Like, if you split this up, literally down the middle, it looks like two completely different games. DRX dominated with their early executions, and then you saw the adaptation from Liquid of just, okay, we're not going to let you execute. We're just going to run it down, and immediately see the game completely flip with what was an excessive amount of kills for Flashback at the beginning. He's now only one ahead of Camo, who was actually one of the players that coming into the match I was going, I don't know if this guy's going to be able to match up. Well, I was thinking more so versus Hyun Min, but he has. He's been insane in these last 5 rounds. And well, at 6-6, we said it is anyone's map to take, but this is DRX's pick, so you kind of feel like they're the ones that need to take it now on the defense.
Well, at the halftime, the crowd was certainly with Liquid, the energy up. The chant was going for the majority of it, but it's silence in the crowd as they wait now to see how this will play out. Camo diving deep, but unlike Hyun Min, he doesn't have the ability to fall back without refract. Space taken is committed to. But the B side will be overrun nonetheless. DRX, many players nearby. Flank coming through with the deep A main push already from Ring, but you've just got the same thing from Nats as he moves around mid. Hyun Min's there to greet him. And now they can just pause a moment for the retake, but they see DRX are spotting this aggression from Team Liquid. They need space on this attacking side, and so it's straight into the spawn they go. Mako there to greet them, and the right click is kind to begin. Shock Dart is going to drop Bane, though, and make this a little bit more difficult, but still, the advantage with the defenders. Drex boxed in, and Kiko shut out.
Yeah, this is where DRX, historically, have always done their best work, those retake setups. I like how patient they were. A lot of the time, you're going to see players get itchy feet, get a little bit over-aggressive, want to take a fight on their own. You see the sort of intelligence of Marco at that back position. He waits at the box, gets a first, falls back. It's like, okay, you want to fight me? You've got to swing me. I'm not going to give you that fight once again. And even Bane, okay, he goes down, but he doesn't want to give away anything. They're just waiting for that flank, patient and controlled. And after what was a pretty nasty streak from Liquid, that's the return DRX were looking for.
Yeah, Mako even getting revenge onto Camo for that first half with his opening pick, but from that point it was just pure discipline. DRX, you got to think about it. The last 5 rounds, 6 rounds or so, they have cooled down. Players feeling like their shots aren't landing because, well, they weren't. But that pistol and a follow-up, that's going to give them the ability to build that momentum. That's right back up.
Has Trex got a hero stinger?
Yes, he does.
He had a hero stinger. It's already gone. I guess an attempt to do some damage, and that attempt's not going great. It's fallen into the hands of Nats, and he's going to meet the same fate. Flashback back to winning ways, 17-10. Come on, it is the conversion, but this is, at least nowadays, this is about as much of a bonus as you're ever going to see. It is mostly SMG snipers and only a singular rifle, maybe an extra one purchased up, but not much to play with whatsoever for the side of DRX in this round.
Not bad work from Flashback too. You mentioned it. He was close to triple the kills. The next player on his team early in that first half. Well, that cooled down.
Still a double.
He ended in roughly that position. Those three certainly help him out. It's all about that return to momentum for DRX. Team Liquid now, they've got to find their footing. Rifles come out. This is their round. Advantage in almost every fight that they take. In fact, it should be every.
Got tagged quite low early on.
A stinger.
He's got to be very careful. Flashback. Just popping flashes through as the team look to try and get in. Marco's managed to find one, but it's Kiko stepping up. They've still got to be careful. As said, this is as about a pure bonus as you're ever going to see. These are low-value weapons, and the more costly this causes, the more rebuys that are needed, and it's definitely starting to get a little bit shaky. Panipack there to seal the deal, but only 2 standing, Mitch. It's not great. He just picked up a stinger.
A little oopsie at the end.
Yeah, but that's gone from now 2 rifles being saved to 1 rifle being saved and a stinger.
So this is the thing, we've seen this gradual shift towards having these third rounds be actually very strong with teams, like at least 2 to 3 rifles.
Did he drop a Phantom? Was he just looking for a better skin?
Yeah.
Heart attack, man. Oh, no.
Yeah. And you know the best part is, he still has a rifle. It's Camo that has to pay the price. It's Camo.
Hey, bro, I got a gun for you. I got a gun for you, bro.
Yo, swap real quick. There you go. Stinger given over. But for Team Liquid, they win the round that they should have. But even up against those weaker weapons, it being so close is scary. Camo's gone diving. Stinger in hand. Paranoia sent through, but it finds nothing. And now flashback onto Trex. This is becoming difficult for DRX. They've got full control. Well, what if Team Liquid got to respond? 1 by 1.
Yeah. They are walking into the trap. They are walking into the players. And it felt like, at least with Camo diving in, there wasn't a lot of follow-up behind it. Maybe hoping somebody would give them a gap elsewhere, but it hasn't happened. And now with Nats and Kiko, the last 2 standing. Some would call them cats. But right now, they're meeting the claws of DRX.
Backside play from Mako. He's going to be the only one taking this fight. Kiko has a chance to isolate it, but it's Mako to take him down. Spike went off the map for a moment, but it's right back up there. Fortunately, I don't think it makes much of a difference to Nats. It's about as retrievable either way. Sitting in that laneway, he's locked out completely. And he knows now there's one coming behind on mid. I mean, at this point, the round is done. Yeah. Saving the weapon is pretty much the only choice, especially as we've said before. Look at the ultimates on DRX. Left. A few close players could have them for the next round. You just don't want them to build up, especially when what you're farming up is a neural theft. That's DRX 9-7, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a pause after how this round went down, especially with already the sting of the stinger being brought through.
Yeah. It's an odd one because I feel like they've been able to get themselves back into the game without too much help from the coaches so far. They did have the pause earlier, but I think they have a lot of faith in Nats' ability to IGL. He's definitely been having a terrible game individually, which at least in recent times is a rarity, but coming back in on a map that hasn't been played since the beginning of the year, it normally does put the extra pressure on the IGLs. We saw it with Marco at the beginning of the game as well. He started slow, but as DRX progressed, so did he individually as well. But it is going to be that timeout taken. It's in a spot, though, where ultimately you're not expecting much for this round for Liquid, because the economy just isn't going to be there.
I think this is all about nurturing the mental, honestly, Tom. Like, we look at 2 things. One, it's, I imagine, not going to have been looked on in a very nice light that you're swapping skins and ending up with a downgrade. That's already going to stink.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
When they play on the tournament climb, they get all the skins, right?
Yeah.
Why is he not just using that skin?
Well, I assume, guessing he picked it up off someone already or something like that. I don't know. But the thing is, you've got that, but I think more importantly, you then have how the round played out. You see Camo dive in, and there's utility to support him. But from that point when he goes down, and hell, he only has a stinger, so probably he is going down, it then crumbles. Like, 1 by 1, they took those fights. It looked easy for DRX. And you can't have that repeated. I think, you know, we talk about pauses sometimes. There's different reasons behind them. That is a panic button from the coaching staff. The second you see that like third kill of the round go down, it's time to stop and take a breath. Now, apply the learnings in the next round, because this one ain't got a lot to work with. At least Camo's given the upgrade, a sort of a payoff of his sacrifice in the previous round.
To be fair, you're going towards that Blade Storm. The other ultimates you might want, Padatek's going to have his, Trex has his, so it's the most logical player. But also, you go back to when they were winning those last few rounds of the previous half, it was a lot down to him individually. And there you go, once again, Marco down. There is still another player that they have to deal with. The slow thrown in, but not connected. Refracting back out of the site, but it leaves the teammate alone. Bane has fallen, and Padatek's won a battle with the Ghost.
That he has through the smoke, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Pure spammage in play. Flashback and Fring left with nothing to do. And, well, I guess I misspoke. I said it's about time to apply the learnings in the next round.
Fair play, Lohan.
Why not start here?
Yeah.
Well done, Lohan and Yaotzin. That is great work.
Standing ahead.
It does also mean that I never want to see Camo taking the light gun again, because getting the opener, I think just again, like the usage of that slow hasn't really worked out. And because of that, it did leave a little bit to be desired for Hyunmin. Like if you throw that and they're stunned, great, maybe you take that 1v2, but you jumping into the site, it was a risk, and that risk didn't pay off.
I mean, the risk itself is also just to confirm, like, you've lost Mako, you don't have eyes on sight, you don't want to call for those rotations from B and find out it's a fake, so you dive in there to try to claim that information, same as on the attack side, and then he just refracts back out. The fact that he gets shot through the smoke like that is quite unlucky. As we get a MasterCard Thrifty from Team Liquid, that could bring them right back into the game. 1 round behind, and a great correction. The other thing I'll touch on is the fact that, obviously, Camo, sometimes he does have to take that lighter weapon, right? Because in this round, you ain't got anything but the Guardian. Sure, give it to him. But a lot of the time, you're going to be running this with a dive. And if you're diving in with a rifle, and there's a Stinger, 30 meters behind you supporting you, it's not going to do very well. We don't have that right-click bind anymore, so it's just one of those things.
You can't twice in one game. Twice.
He knows. He knows. He knows I love him.
Well, 9-8. Oh, flashback almost gone immediately. He's actually still going though. He's taken the angle. The spams aren't going to connect because he's already passed the box. I don't know if they're even going to realize, but he doesn't connect. It's not worked out. Not the start they were looking for. And with flashback gone, again, it leaves an opening on the back of this A site.
Yeah, he might have been able to get away if he hadn't been tagged down to 18 HP at the start of the round. The wall bangs here. I think every shot that hit him was through that box. Maybe he'll be a little more cautious of it in future. Pressure on for DRX. A hold towards this A site with 2, but the info not quite there. Hyunmin already having to fill in that mid gap. The old pop lets them know. All eyes should be on this choke point. This is the spot. Oh, that Fring holds on too tightly. They'll eventually fall, but the damage is done. Surely Trex tries so desperately to pull it back. Padatek traded out as he's brought back in. Trex somehow walks out with 3. He's left on 2 HP, but it's only Mako up against them. Both players low, and the spike still to be planted.
I've seen this one before. A 1v2 chance for Marco. Nats on the other side. This time he delivers. A Trex is on just 2 HP. He's had an insane round so far, but needs a little bit more. 20 seconds left. Marco can just opt to play the time, but he will reposition to perfection. A Red Bull clutch, and this time he gets it done. 1 for 1.
I mean, he was very close to getting it on the initial wall bang as well. Just a great read from Mako when re-entering into that site. How Trex found so much value. I mean, this round seemed won at this point.
It's the bait on Paddy.
So
like,
beautiful.
He brings it back. And
I thought he was the one that ran through. It was Nats that ran through. And he just
he basically realized where Paddy got shot from.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's actually insane.
Well, luckily, Marco is there to win them the round. The start they were looking for. A lovely dart that goes around the back and makes sure there's no aggression this time. Of course, still economy for Liquid because of the fact that they won on a low buy. Otherwise, they would have been in danger here. They're trying to find a little bit of early spam, but there's still a cam behind them. All the information will be revealed for Freeing, but it's when he wants to use it. I think he's waiting for the timing on them actually looking to move. And then he has the chance to get a free kill, but no, instead ends up hunting for info.
Danger ping on mid. Reveal follows it up, confirming the space isn't taken, but they know that Nats was looking for space around there. Clearly expecting this A hit. Traps already on site. Camo bypassing him. He's up top. Bladestone has to spot the player on backside. Spring gets the jump on him. Bane with one, but it's Kiko stepping up for the double, giving Team Liquid a chance to continue drawing breath. A 10-8. 3 versus 3, but it's Nats going walkabouts that gets punished. Walking into the whole enemy team. And with the old pop from Flashback, DRX have all the info.
Set 10-8.
I think he's starting to consider whether or not using that Hunter's Fury is worth it, but Kiko going down, it's not anymore. He needs to win a fight or two. He had a chance to be the hero in a round prior, but lost the clutch to Marco. Now he sat versus 3, but the only thing really on his side is the time. Convergence path, uses walk back into it, and now he's in trouble. Shock Dart could go in, but there's not really anything else he can do other than try and spam a bullet or two. Solid ult usage from DRX, and they will find their way up to 11. I also want to query, was that a stuck from the shadows for Kiko, where he gets those 2 kills? I feel like it wasn't noticed. Yeah, it was. He TV's behind them. They're so busy dealing with Camo. That's crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest of his utility belt didn't do him too well. Caught in no
tajam ya
land,
DRX ya.
isolated by that ult that went through from Flashback that got them all that space, got them all the information. A big contributor to the round, as he has been to this game for DRX. 11-8 now. A 3-round gap in the battle. For the best on
Apa
Abyss.
iya?
Seems to
Ini
be
2-0 lagi. Gila.
Team Liquid invest.
Kalau 2-0 lagi sih gila sih.
Was the attack side too?
But it was also
Upper bracket rata-rata 2-0 sih.
And then a comeback for Liquid. So I'm not going to count any chickens just yet. Hunter's Fury put through. Camo is completely blinded at the back of the site, and when he does finally escape the Hunter's Fury, he is executed. Already 4 players in a fast rotation from DRX. They've been good at the retakes thus far, but this time they have no plans to retake. And they also have so much control on the other side of the map. Look at the push-up already from Marco. He's so deep on that A-site control that there's absolutely no way back.
Merokok.
This is the problem, I think, though. Look at how many rounds Camo goes diving in, lands, and goes, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah.
There's no one here. What do we do? And that's when DRX execute back out and take him down. They don't have the ability to punish like that when they're Team Liquid because they're playing against Hyunmin on the waylay. He's able to constantly get in, land, go, we've got the info, fall back, and then go, hey, what do we do now? And that benefit is, it is leagues above what is being brought to the table by Team Liquid here. And you need to see other ideas. And we're not really. Even there, when Camo goes down, seconds later, there's still 4 players in main. They're not able to actually do anything about it, and even saving seems to be an impossible task as they get run over by DRX, flattened in a flawless round, and 12-8, the score on the board. Match point for DRX on map number 1.
It's actually the fun thing about the composition for DRX is you're going to look at this composition and go, okay, they have 1 initiator. If you look at the way they're playing it, it's almost like they have 5. Like, you've got every single player in some way or another able to get you information, be it based off ultimates, being based off abilities, or your cam, etc., etc. And they're doing very well to find that out early, like be it an aggressive flashback peek and TP, be it the same with Hyunmin, be it the same with Marco. Like, they are constantly challenging for this control. And Liquid are yet to really find an answer. Nats is 2-11, by the way. He has had a really rough time. Since that 1v2 attempt from Marco in the previous half, that was the last time he got a kill.
I remember. We said it was the first impact kill, and, well, depending on how this goes, it may well be his last.
His only.
Of any, yeah, exactly. Of any kind. 4 rounds in a row needed for Liquid. And on this attack side, it has not been kind. This isn't like the first series of the day. It's a completely different flavor. Dive in from Camo. Does well to find one, but an immediate punish comes through. DRX, they are holding strong across the map. It doesn't matter which battleground they have to fight. Full control for the defensive side, and with 40 seconds left, the final threads fraying from the loom on Abyss.
Again, they look like they're running into a brick wall. One player will take the charge, and this time, that one player fighting alone has actually managed to even up the score. Kiko's done well, but there are still two players waiting on the other side. Kiko has TP'd into his own smoke, just trying to garner a little bit of extra space. Hyun-min is well aware of it, though. And the other two players still trapped in main. They want to try and swing this together, and they will, but Marco's still here. 12 seconds left. They know where the remaining players are, but sticking this button is going to be difficult. Kiko had to body block, and now Nats is all that remains, and he remains no more. DRX are going to be there and back on the international stage with a first map victory.
Well, Yao Tsin said, assistant coach at Team Liquid, he said he wanted to see DRX early on here in Champs. He wanted to prove who is the best of this team. Well, we have an answer now. DRX with a phenomenal result in map number 1. Up next is Bond, Liquid's pick after the break.
Apa tuh? TL. Iyalah udah main 20-20 aja udah. Nggak usah pakai map ketiga ya kan.
Now that I'm a mom, things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
Mix and match plans. New action customer.
Esports World Cup, where we are starting off with Valorant. If you want to win, you have to win against the best.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty, and LBM goes crazy!
They've all battled through the pressure and expectation. Heretics have come back all the way!
Finally, we won! Finally!
You gotta make a move to me, baby, yeah.
Bikin konten beda ukuran? Ya, gampang di Canva. Klik ubah ukuran, pilih ukurannya.
Jadi deh.
Wah, segampang itu.
Kak, pesen cappuccino. Awas, Ma. Tiap ngopi dulu, sakit mah kamu. Tapi kalau ngopi sekarang, untungnya ada promo herbal. Minumnya sebelum aku ngopi. Promo herbal aja dulu. Ma. Minum promo herbal dulu sebelum ngopi.
and Bella here with Coach Termi of DRX. We saw Flashback and Hyunmin on that double duelist. So just curious if you can tell us about the composition change, especially with recent adjustments to the roster. And can we expect more double duelists from DRX?
이제 어비스에서 투타격대 조합을 기용하셨는데 이 조합을 선택하신 이유도 궁금하고 이번 챔스 로스터에 대한 이야기를 많이 궁금해하시더라고요. 그 이야기도 조금 더 해주실 수 있는지 투타격대 DRX 더 많이 기대해도 될까요?
이번 챔스를 준비하면서 투타격대를 기원한다고 말씀을 드렸었고 한민 선수와 플래시백 선수가 굉장히 잘 쏘고 좀 파괴력 있는 모습을 보여주기 때문에 앞으로도 좀 많이 보여드릴 수 있을 것 같고 그리고 로스터 관련해서는 주전 선수는 베인 선수가 맞고 원래 에스트레아 선수와 같이 8위에 오기로 했었는데 건강상의 문제로 못 온 거라서 팬분들은 좀 오해를 안 해주셨으면 좋겠고.
I mean, we have hinted that we were going to use the two double duelist comp before, and you know, Hyunmin and Flashback are doing great on it. So, and they're very aggressive and fierce with it. So I think we made the right call. And originally, Bane is our main roster, and Estrella as well. He was supposed to join us, but due to health reasons, he wasn't able to make it. And I hope that the fans don't, you know, get the wrong understanding.
Oh no.
Thank you so much for that answer. 감사합니다 and good luck.
Shout out to Coach Termi for the insight there. From one coach to another, we're joined by Coach Faded from Team Vitality. Welcome.
Appreciate you guys having me here.
Nice to have you here.
Definitely quite an experience in this arena, so.
What did you make of the games today? Have you had time to watch?
I mean, I didn't get really to watch the first game, but or the first matchup. But even this Abyss in itself, I think it was a really good game. I think the game plans, you could kind of see what was going on, and DRX definitely had the upper hand in it. So, you know, definitely exciting to watch.
Are you getting a little bit of FOMO?
I definitely am. I think it kind of goes back to when we played DRX in Bangkok, and you know, it kind of had a little bit of a flashback there.
Wow! He fits right in.
Crazy work.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you know, on that note, like Flashback was played insane this map. You know, I honestly thought Hyunmin was going to be one of the biggest factors, but the way that Flashback kind of took control of this map was really good. So.
Yeah, it was indeed. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But for now, let's take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment. And of course, end of this one goes to DRX with this round 6.
Yeah. DRX ran a lot of these B main execs. This one using the Waylay ult to actually end up getting in there. But I know, Fidge, you want to talk a little bit about how they were beating out Team Liquid, who were going for these B retakes a lot.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, you saw that Liquid was kind of trying to set up for this retake pattern. Before the timeout, it seemed like they were kind of disconnected. Once they kind of got on the same page, you could see that they were playing more aggressive in the A main and fast rotations so that they were actually in place in time to play the retake value really well. But I think DRX did a really good job of trying to manipulate the map, and they usually ended up on the B side. And you know, honestly, the DRX's attack was not as strong as I thought it was going to be, but it was still pretty effective.
Yeah, they run into some roadblocks when Team Liquid stopped playing, you know, more passive retake and just started running all of the aggro looks through B main, through mid, and whatnot. But I think the combination of those early rounds going very well for DRX, and then of course on the defense, getting so many rounds was just wild.
We're not used to seeing that after the match one, are we? But we kind of set this up as whichever team wins on Abyss will definitively take the crown as the best Abyss team in this entire tournament. Faded, would you agree? Were these the two best teams you were expecting, or is there a third sneaky challenger?
I think they are probably the top contenders for Abyss. I'm a little biased. I think like G2 is generally good on a lot of maps, especially when they have time to prepare. But in terms of coming into this, I think they are probably the strongest, you know, the Abyss matchups. So
I'm throwing MIBR in there.
Okay, that's a bold choice, to be sure. I do think I want to highlight Flashback a little bit, because I think when DRX were so good on this map back in the past, that was with Flashback in a completely different role. He was playing the Cypher for the team. Now he comes in second duelist here on the Yoru and was absolutely dominating round after round.
He was, and Liquid had problems dealing with him. But let's see if Lohan has the fix and hear what he had to say ahead of map 2.
Nika here once again, and we've got Lohan of Team Liquid.
Oh, I like this.
Now, I'm very curious because we knew we were going to get this Abyss showdown. When it was you two teams, we knew we were going to get this showdown. And I'm really curious how you were able to prep on this map, especially against DRX. You guys are the top 2 teams in the world on this map, especially knowing that we haven't seen it in some time. How does that kind of prep continue over into Bind, which hopefully you guys will come back on?
Yeah, for Abyss specifically, we don't have as much time to remember how to play the map. Unfortunately, they played the comp that we never practiced against. I think on defense, we managed to actually show some of the adjustments that were needed. And on attack, honestly, I think we just rushed a bit of the decisions. First game on stage, so I understand that was a bit shaky. I'm pretty sure, I'm quite confident that the next map we're going to be doing better, honestly, and I think we're prepared.
All right, Eagle to see it, and then good luck.
Well, they don't have a choice. They have never lost on Abyss before. They suffer that loss, but Bind are faded. I think you're very equipped to tell us. It's so iconic. Liquid's Bind is so iconic in EMEA. And why do you think that is? What can the global fans expect from their Bind?
I think their protocols, especially on the defense, is very, very solid. You know, I think most, most regions, the attack is usually the stronger side. But I think the way that they're controlling the defensive aspects, they have, flash reclears. They have a lot of different good protocols, TP usages, these kind of things that make the map a lot more difficult for the attackers to actually play around. We definitely scrimmed them a lot against them. We've seen it too as well. They're very, very solid and confident on that map. So.
And they've always said that Trex calls on the defense on Bind.
Yeah.
Having worked with him, what's it like to have him on the defense side and be vocal?
Trex is very, very good at reading what the opponents are going to do. And I think, especially the way that Liquid's put trust in him, it's a very smart decision. And, I think Trex was kind of that difference maker that can make the opponent team question themselves in their protocols and what they're going to do. So I definitely stand by that one.
Chrissy, they're doubling down. They're doubling down.
They're doing it again. That is crazy.
Wow, okay.
On the Waylay here as well. I mean, you'll see a lot of the Rays in that slot and comps that look exactly like this. I still lean towards Rays as being the stronger pick on the map, but you can't deny that Yunwin was very effective on the Waylay on Abyss.
Yeah, what's this comp like on Bind, Faded? Do you like this?
I do actually like it a lot. We were testing the Waylay out a lot in like the couple past splits, and I think there's a lot of effective use cases. I remember when Liquid was actually using it on Icebox, for example, they were trying to use Waylay as a space gainer so that you can kind of set up for deeper executes. And if that's DRX's game plan on the attack, I think they're going to be very effective in being able to take the sites and being able to kind of counter out that trap-style way that Liquid is looking to play. But I do think that it comes down to how effective that flashback can take space afterwards and be able to, get those frags, entry frags, to kind of clear even more waves.
Yeah, we saw those deep fights on Abyss, like the fights up into A Heaven, for example, and I think here on Bind as well, especially fighting to backside A, I think is going to be something I'm going to be looking at here in the first half for DRX. But if Team Liquid are going to go to a map 3, I have to focus on Nats. This is a map he's usually so proficient on. Game 1.
This is his map.
This is his map, and Game 1 was not by any stretch of the imagination. I need to see my goat back on the stage here if we're going to a third.
Yeah, my worry is they couldn't, they couldn't foresee the Waylay Yoru. Maybe they can now on Bind. Unfortunately, Durka is not casting, but I believe we have Mitchman and Sassy.
Almost there, Yinsu, almost. We'll get him on one day. For now, though, Tom, this is the same as the previous map. Two very different ideas in terms of what comps are being brought to bear. But what we saw in map number 1, it seemed like DRX had cracked the code to Abyss, certainly to playing against Team Liquid. And now, do you think it's going to be the same on this map?
I think that Liquid are going to be a lot more comfortable. I think you could tell that they really didn't have their protocols in place when it came to Abyss. Yeah. At the same time, DRX had clearly done prep into even their old composition of where certain trips were being placed. They will have done a lot of prep. They have, at least in the last few months, 5 matches of Bind to watch of Team Liquid. So definite opportunities. This is the man I'm looking at, though. Because I don't think I've ever seen Nats have 2 maps that bad, ever. And this is his map.
This is the one. The recovery for Team Liquid. Yunmin back to his old tricks. Flashback there alongside him, and Yunmin with his 3rd kill of the round. His 2nd. DRX in a 5 versus 2. This has gone downhill very quickly. There's your stats powered by AWS. 24.6% of the time, Team Liquid are getting the spike defuse, and in a 2v5, I imagine that stat's even worse.
This is going to be tough to try and break back into. It's mostly going to come down to mistakes, and I want to give credit in the last map as well to DRX. They weren't really making silly errors. They were looking like a well-oiled machine, and well, it is a flawless pistol round to kick things off. I believe that's 3 for 3 as well in terms of the pistols so far this game.
One of the things to look at as well on this B and A site when we get back in game, I challenge you, look at the map and think about the differences between this and Abyss. On Abyss, it's a lot of open space. It's a lot of long laneways approaching a site. When you dive in, getting back out is so valuable. Here, Hyunmin has the ability to actually dive into corners, into crevices, and fight his way back out alongside his teammates. That's what we see here in the pistol, and I think that's what we're going to see in some of the future rounds as well, especially if it's combined with some flashes from the Yoru of Flashback. This is a very difficult composition to play against. Team Liquid certainly have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they're kind of unlucky that they are the team that's almost the guinea pig. They don't get to go into the next game and study what their opponents are doing. They've got to adapt on the fly. And well, a very aggressive start to this round. Camo's the only one that's really invested anything into it. A cheeky Bucky. Very, very passive hold from the side of DRX. You can kind of understand why, but this time it's a little bit different to the last buy we saw in their bonus. They were going heavy on those SMGs, and sure, they've got one, but a couple of pistols mean that they can afford casualties, but also in the next round, they'll be able to afford some extra rifles as well.
That's exactly it. Last time it was all about securing that second.
They're so ready for it.
A map with so much range. Now they can afford to have those weaknesses, if you want to even call them that. Certainly not in this fight. There's the Bucky. Finding one difficult to use when you're having to reclaim space, but they'll at least get off to a good start. Problem is, I don't think there's much to be upgraded there.
Spike planted.
Kiko might be able to grab something. Bane is not aware of him by the looks of things and comes to clear it and loses his life. Camo with another. This is now getting very dangerous. What's left is still Hyunmin. He has been huge, and Mako really heated up towards the end of the last map. It's Hyunmin to find one, to fall back now, create the space, force uncomfortable fights. It's a classic and a Bucky. All you gotta do is make sure you're far away, but Nats taking down Mako, puts the pressure on Hyunmin. Defuse underway, Bucky guarding short, and it's Camo third! An immediate response from Team Liquid in round number 2.
Di map ban sih bisa jauh berbeda sih.
Don't know why you're looking at me like I can explain what I've just seen.
A Bucky and what, 4 classics? They didn't even have a sheriff, did they?
The thing is, okay, the Bucky is bad, but it's more so where the Bucky was. Like, it was playing in showers, and they planted in towards that A short position. Like, the fact that he's able to go into the smoke, kill a man, and then push all the way back in. Like, these are fights that you should never, ever, ever win with a Bucky or a classic. It makes no sense. And, well, I guess I'm eating my words from the prior round about overextensions, because I definitely felt like there were some silly mistakes. Early attempt at a response. Note that they didn't buy back in with those rifles. They've gone with some SMGs instead, keeping their economy good, hopefully for the next round. But just look at what's on the other side. It is full rifles for Liquid. Huge boost to economy.
Oh yeah, I mean, losing the pistol, winning second is about as good as it can go, especially when you didn't even invest into the second. It wasn't a force fight. Up close, Hyunmin, flashback.
You gotta win third.
This is getting scary. Yeah, it's all about building that economy early for Liquid and how strong they look, but hell, if you lose this round, we're right back to square one.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice nade alongside a snake bite and a poison orb. It's a freebie on range. Trex is dominating, and it will end in favor of Liquid. Costly,
2-1.
sure, but a 2-1 lead nonetheless. It's better than they got on map 1.
I could already tell this game's going to be hectic. Already at the few rounds into Bind, and it's looking exciting. This is the sort of power of that double dive into the site. It just creates so many awkward spots for players to try and fight within. But Trex, again, he definitely had his moments. But the fact is, his multi-frag was necessary in this round. And now, well, this is where DRX finally have rifles of their own.
They're not afraid to let Liquid know. An immediate headshot from Flashback. Puts us into a 5v4. That was the orb claimed by Camo. He's got himself a showstopper for the next round. And this would be the exact round you wanted in. Good housekeeping early on from the attack side. The push in towards Hookah could be a little dangerous. Point of contact is going to be Trex, but he is baiting for Kiko in the corner. The problem is he goes down, so now they don't have to clear that right side, and Prowler comes in. That's Kiko shut down. DRX are walking their way into this site. Patatek, The only one standing in their way now, and a flash, sure to blind him! He dodges it just about and at least claims one more. But it looks like an impossible position for Nats, who's coming off the back of a pretty rough start in the previous.
And this is where DRX have been tough to beat. Falling back, holding together, and while making his way through that smoke was never going to happen. An immediate response from DRX, and after a costly round, it's going to put Liquid on the back burner here.
What a crazy start to this game. Trax gets so unlucky. I think if he can actually fall back inside Hookah, there's a good chance. Combining with Panatek down on site, they've got the flashes for the re-clears after the initial fight, or the support on a re-swing. But him going down, it just makes it impossible. The extra Prowler, instead of going right, goes left, catches Kiko. And the pieces of the puzzle start to come together for DRX. Now, Showstopper we mentioned for Camo, but again, then look at the round we're in. It being online so early, yeah.
They've got a Bucky, what do you mean?
Oh, good point, actually. I didn't think of that. They don't have a rifle anymore. That's going to have to be retrieved. But on the other side as well, if anything goes wrong, DRX have got 2 big ultimates to get them right back into the game.
I'd be surprised if they need them.
They shouldn't.
But it really does feel like, especially going back to the last map and this one, it feels like they've maybe just spent the entirety of that extra break they had just aim training. Like, everybody is looking so crisp on the DRX side. Flashback on that duelist has been impressive. Hyunmin still firing, and at least in this map so far, there hasn't really looked like a weakness. Already going to spot the player on site. Kiko has been able to at least retrieve that singular rifle, but they are just waiting for him to make that move.
And again, we see that other layer. We've seen Hyunmin dive in, take space. This time dives in, takes info, falls back, and it's his teammates to execute on the back of that information. Kiko's being very patient. Not swinging out, and it's a good thing, too. Wraps back around to meet up with Trax, finds Flashback. It's a good start, but still, that Bucky on Trax, he needs something else. And in fact, up close, he might have a chance of punishing Hyunmin. They've heard the Bucky fire. Hyunmin's down to 30. The Trax is all alone. This round already done. I guess the question was, could he get any more? And the answer is a resounding no. 3-2. DRX right back in the lead.
Yeah, and they keep both of those ults, more importantly. It's only a singular player loss. It's just a straight spam through. Angles known, and then patience. Similarly to the last map on this defensive side, we've seen those attempts at aggression. But it seems like this squad led by Marco have been very comfortable in just sitting back, taking those individual fights. This is where we wait to see if there's a response. Now, something that Liquid love to do is this deep smoke, deep flash, pressure down. And that's what they look to do again.
DRX are ready for it, but the Showstopper causes issues. The flash is perfect from Trax. And a dominant round from Team Liquid. And we saw this on the previous map as well. Sometimes they just want to take the fight to you, defensive side, but they're playing the attack.
I'll be honest, if you've ever watched Liquid play this map, you've seen that strat. They absolutely adore it. The second you see that smoke going down deep, you have to be wary. A lot of teams will even play behind that box all the way back deep towards the spawn just to have a safe spot, but they did not do that. You could see how blind the players were on the other side. Even escaping wasn't really an option. A set play that's successful, and in fact, they're going to take early space on that side of the map again. As you can see, DRX immediately is like, no, you know what, I don't want that heat, we're going elsewhere.
And the importance as well of having the Showstopper in that moment and the second flash on Trax, because the first flash, it catches 1 or 2, there's still 2 players ready to fight, but as soon as Showstopper pops, everyone's looking to face. They realize we can't fall back, we have to fight, and that's when the Gecko Flash wins them the round. Great utility coming out of Team Liquid, but DRX now, still with rifles, still with those big ultimates, 1 away from Pring having the Viper's Pit, and it's going to be Orbital Strike immediately, covering off that backside of Lamps as they go in to clear it. Plant can now be secured. Spans through the smoke, always going to be dangerous. Trax finding that extra information and clearing out all this space, but when they see so many of the players from Team Liquid flooding into the A site, ults being committed, the TP is taken, and DRX go all the way out to the B site. Easy plant. That's a great adjustment, thinking on their feet.
Yeah, and look at the ults they have as well. Convergence path can completely stun up the players. That's immediately going to be used, in fact. That's 3 players that are just stuck in the spawn. The nade has been used just to try and quell any aggression, but DRX have no interest. Oh, we got a 5v4. We don't need to take the risk. Zeke's used on the other side to garner that extra little bit of space, but now the Viper's Pit hits onto the spike. This is a losing battle, or so it seemed. Liquid somehow striking back. Paditek with an immediate double, and a spray through onto Bane, leaves one. Freeing. He should be able to deny the first. Needs to at least try, and has done so, but Nats is there in response. Time-wise, there will be... Oh, it's close! Oh, just about enough. But a fantastic retake from Liquid. As said, Convergence path, Viper's Pit, and somehow they make their way back in.
I thought that was perfect play from DRX, to be honest. Hyunmin putting the ult down, it's very reminiscent of the Vysol buying them time.
They were under a second off.
Yeah, 0.7. But that's spam from Nats. And then the invasion of the pit, that's what makes the difference. Team Liquid take the lead 4-3 now. And for DRX, it's a costly loss. As we get back into the game, you'll see the economy there. It's not looking pretty. They're going to have to take a light buy. And unless there's a miracle on their side, that's a 2-round lead for Liquid. What a back-and-forth game this has been. We'll see if momentum and fate will finally choose a side.
I don't think so. From everything we've seen so far in this match.
Game of tennis.
It seems like we're going to spend the whole game on Juice. And only a final advantage will be found at the end. Again, the Stinger has been a real irritation for Liquid. Nade will do some damage onto Marco, but he will be able to escape. Post-plant with a Molotov, a Seize as well, a Snake Bite. Like, they've got some post-plant utility to play with here. They don't, however, have guns.
Yeah, with the pistols, you think you even want to put that Viper's Pit in. It's usually not the play. Baiting out that utility already. You can see Grim Molly goes up, but it takes so long to land. They've got so much time, and it doesn't matter. They're doing it with the pistols. The MasterCard Thrifty. I thought they've got enough utility to buy time to make it close, but that was anything but close.
You were saying something about choosing a side and finally building back into the game, getting some momentum. I think it was immediate 1-2 punch. I think even they're surprised as to what's just happened. Yeah.
I was looking at the utility belt for a second. Oh, they've also got Nevermind. Everyone's dead. That's incredible.
Wow, Liquid are going to take themselves a pause. You can understand why. They win a close round, immediately just get decimated by pistols, unable to really get going. Funnily enough, I think the biggest streak they will have had is in the end of the first half of the first map, where they brought it back to 6-6. It wasn't even them taking a lead. It was just, that was the streak. And then every time DRX have had some form of combo breaker. As we said, it looked like the build up to that round was all about post plants. How are they going to have a sweaty setup? No, they just headshot everybody. It's as I said, I think they've just been practicing their aim for the last month. That's what it looks like.
I think you might have hit the nail on the head there, Tom. That,
give me the deathmatch routine. That's all I'm going to say.
Drop it. Drop it right now. DRX should have been 5-3 down. They really should have. And running through a smoke against any weapon, it's always dangerous, but you don't expect them to just pop off like that.
Yeah.
Every shot landing, every Sheriff finding its mark, and an immediate Viper's Pit going to come through here from Team Liquid. You can already see it being set up. Prowler forces Nats back, but no one's there to take the space.
This does make me a little bit nervous. I'm looking at Nightfall, Hyunmin's ability to basically get over the pit. That's why they have a player in the backlines in camo. He's going to be watching to almost try and defend off his teammate from behind, but there's a lot that can be utilized. And Trex, again, he's played this somewhat off angle before, but they have been ready and waiting. And I like the fact this time he's falling back. We've seen him challenge this before, and it has not really worked out.
Going back to the A site, you know, it's still an option, but you really got to be going through bathroom if that's the play. And DRX are leaving that door open by moving towards B long. they meet too much resistance, but 45 seconds left. Dash comes in, Refract online, first player spotted, stunned as well. Now they can try to close in that distance. That's exactly what they're doing. Trex under so much pressure. Patatek tried to help him out, but he ends up falling at the hands of Mako and DRX. They're pushing into this site where Kiko's falling for the decoy. Everything going the way of the attacking side since they pulled those sheriffs out in the last. And Team Liquid, yeah, the snake bites landed, a little bit of damage. Great, but it's time to save these weapons. No contest. It's 5 for DRX.
Nothing that can really be done at this stage, and a solid use of, I believe it was the saturate, right? That bounced off the back and just left Trex in an awkward position. You can understand Patatek's response. Okay, I want to swing, I want to try and help my teammate out, but it just didn't go to plan. And from then onwards, it just seemed like the second they have even the slightest of opening, this composition just allows DRX to just steamroll into the site.
Just there when we were on POV of Nats, actually, I was watching the entire time that they've been saving. He has been rattling off words. I don't know what's being said, but big changes for Team Liquid. A lot of holes in the ship right now. A lot of wooden planks needed. Because the thing is, you say about DRX, they're hitting their shots, they won the round with the pistols, but here, Team Liquid aren't. Right, Trex is obviously, I can forgive his position, he's trapped in a tiny corner. The stun just about fading, but Paddy caught in this transitional period between taking the fight and falling back. It's an easy pick, and we can't see it be fed to DRX like this. 2 rounds in a row, and a chance for an 8-4 half. With how these rounds are going, with where the economy's at for Liquid, it should at least be a lead for DRX in the end, with ults online for the next, mainly looking at Mako. He should have that orbital strike, and no one's close on Team Liquid. Oh, I thought that's an info dive. He's full committed. Still
He's
go back.
sticking it for now. He is going to try and go back, and there isn't really anybody that can punish from this angle. It's a solid start, though. Nats now goes down. But bear in mind, there were some severe weaknesses, and now Camo's coming in from behind. He could just end this round, but it's whiffy! It's really whiffy. Luckily, he's got Kiko to back him up, and Trex has managed to find one with a ghost. It doesn't end up going wrong for Liquid, but it very nearly did.
So yeah, DRX hitting all their shots. Sometimes for Liquid, that's not the case. Might be the most egregious example that we've ever seen, and good luck to Camo in living that one down. But 5-5 nonetheless. The rest of the team was able to pick up his mess, I'll say. And we may still see a neck-and-neck half. The game of Deuce continues. But what a chaotic set of rounds we have. The ult popped, it was full focus from them, but the reaction from Hyun Min finding one. The 180 as a bullet whizzes past him. And
I think the close POV we saw of Nats there just shows the chaos of the comp, though. Like, he's having to full 180 to shoot out the haunt and then turn back in time to be able to shoot flashback. And he did that. Fair play to him. Like, his reactions were impressive, but they are making what is normally his home turf an awkward place to play. And we'll see if he can do it in that second half. There we go. Finally, there's been a missed shot on the other side of things, and Camo gets a little bit of revenge. Poetic justice, you could say. However, there's always a response, and that was incredibly clean from freeing Nats. I don't even know if his head was fully showing.
Well, it was found on the other side nonetheless. That was redemption for Camo to start, but Nats, same old thing. This time less utility involved. It's just a straight-up duel that he loses. DRX, that's a...
Into an awkward position, or maybe not. Trex has gone for the fight, and this time Bane, again, he's just going to stick it out. Eventually gets caught by the wingman that was from a player who died ages ago. He must have been running around for a few seconds.
I think he was just about to run out, and he caught a lock-on. He found the player.
How has that happened? Like,
you hit the shot on the head.
Do we have a
Trex.
wingman POV? Is that an option? Because
I'm not sure.
Like, Trex was dead for ages.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. 6-5 for Team Liquid, and MVP of this round may well be that wingman. There he goes, running it down.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I feel bad for Bane. I feel bad for him. Like, he did so well in that clutch.
You know the problem there? Crosshair placement. He's trying to headshot the wingman. And he's short. 6-5.
Is that what happens when someone tries to headshot you? Anyway, into the round, an aggressive start, a low weapon or two, and an immediate usage of that orbital strike, a pacey hit, and well, it's gone right past, spotted the players, one of them already being stunned up, and the fight back, Bane's revenge, as he will find a double. Freeing in position, they need to clear him, and they have, gives them a chance.
Oh! Mako and Bane are solo! Nightfall goes through. Both players spotted up there. Info to play with, but Hyun Min, the man with the weight of the world on his shoulders now, his teammates have forced into a fight. The odds aren't looking to be in their favor, but time is ticking. Waiting for the Nightfall to fade. The flash out sees no one. Close left clear, worried about long. Nats finding Mako, but it's Hyun Min finding himself the first, and Bane to swing deep. 6-6, neck and neck at the halftime.
A really impressive response once again, and an incredible half of Valorant, 6-6 as we stick it out. And honestly, the way that this game is going, it is looking like it's going to be potentially, Mitch, one of the all-time greats.
One enemy remains.
Certainly one hell of a start here on Bind. We've seen some long games, and if it keeps up, well, we might be adding this one indeed. You talked about the bounce back of Nats as well, and he has certainly looked good. But Tom, I've had enough of hearing from you. I want to go down to the main man who was up here earlier, Durka, who's standing by with me.
Et ai-je vraiment besoin de présenter la légende de Vitality, Durke, qui m'a rejoint? Hi Durke, welcome to Paris. It's a pleasure to welcome you here on Vitality's home soil. Thank you for being there, first of all. I think the fans appreciated you coming here, even though you're not playing. How does it feel, you know, having people cheering for you everywhere you go?
Feels amazing. We have a lot of fans here, and even though we didn't play here, I think we got still a lot of support. A lot of fans come in asking for pictures, signature, and stuff. So it's like really nice. Merci les gars.
Merci les gars, and I think everyone is happy to hear this. Donc qu'est-ce que ça fait finalement d'avoir des fans qui viennent te voir, qui viennent te soutenir ici, même quand tu ne joues pas, et bah forcément leur soutien me va droit au cœur. Ça fait très plaisir, on espéra aussi faire mieux. Merci les gars, comme il le dit si bien. Second question about this match, I was wondering, are we rooting, you know, EMEA, or is there any player in GRX that you want to see winning?
I mean, always kind of for EMEA, I want them to succeed anyway. So I think my first initial prediction was like 2-1, but now it kind of gets tough, you know?
So you would say Liquid still?
Yeah.
Okay, rooting for Team Liquid. Du coup, qui est-ce que tu soutiens entre Team Liquid et DRX? On est toujours du côté de l'EMEA, donc on soutient l'EMEA. Thank you very much. Merci, Derke. And let's see if Team Liquid can take the win. Let's get back to the game.
Well, it's good to see one of my favorite co-casters down there in the crowd. We had fun earlier, and his predictions came through. He was talking a big game about Hyun Min, and that man has certainly delivered here today. I mean, just a stellar performance from him, but there's been plenty of heroes down on the server as we get into the Coinbase Econ report at halftime.
Yeah, for sure. It is looking maybe the most even you're ever going to see it. It's crazy as well that you think about how Hyun Min has been playing, and Nats is yet to damage him. He's just been flying over the top and is unable to really catch the man. It's like trying to catch smoke. He just disappears every time you get close. Even still, though, level at the half. And this is, well, this is the map, this is the half where we talk about this man as the best in the world. Like, I don't think there's many arguments to be had in that respect. His positioning, especially towards that A side of the map, has always been problematic. But as said, the preparation we've seen from DRX going into this game, the difficulty they've caused with this comp, I am very intrigued to see if they can finally beat Nats.
Oh, he certainly had a good bounce back, as we saw there in the stats from the previous map, where he was being shut down at every turn. A couple of rough openings, but for the most part, this has been night and day. Deep play from Team Liquid. Not afraid to get aggressive, and the full site's already cleared out. They're starting to get an inkling. DRX were doing something. There's no reason to leave A this open, so they expect the flank to be coming through. In fact, Nats expects the flank to be coming through. In goes the snakebite. He will be caught. Push up, but Kiko's watching his back. Team Liquid, a double opening, a 5 versus 3. They know that Mako's here as well. Ooh, but Nats has been tagged extremely low. It's an easy cleanup. But time is ticking.
Yeah, there's so much left to do. Not much left to do it with. the players in lamps are going to cause serious issues, and at this point it's all about orbs. The clock is far too low already, and Marco, well, he's going to at least clean up a few, do a little bit of extra damage, but that is all she wrote. It will be Liquid taking their first pistol round of the series. We'll see if that is a turning point for them in this map. From what I've seen so far, probably not.
I have absolutely no faith. We've already seen second rounds go the way of the team who lost the pistol. We started it out that way, and for DRX, the shots they've been hitting, I don't think anything in this match is guaranteed. It is a game of uncertainty. We came in with questions, one of them being who's the best Abyss team, and maybe now we've got an answer, but who's the best team? That's still up for debate. Still up for discussion, still up for competition as Team Liquid 1 round up. This should be housekeeping. It should be easy. A chore, an uncomfortable one sometimes, but not a difficult one.
Well, they are currently walking into a 4-man stack, and well, now that 4-man stack's coming to them. The defense trying to put the pressure on, but Kiko, he is not crumbling. Clean as you like. He's been one of the best in EMEA all season. And the crowd calling for an ace. I will say he is about as far away from freeing as humanly possible. He would have to have the greatest teammates on the planet. And I will say, they can only afford one death here. So I kind of hope that they're not throwing their weapons away for him to get an ace.
Well, actually, Camo might not have a choice. He's out here on long. He's 7 HP. A single shot from freeing will take him down, and that's exactly what happens. Damage on to Kiko as well. Lined up with Patatek. The chance for the ace is there, but we've seen it before. Patatek stealing the ace. It's poor form, Tom.
I don't think he could see the guy, but you know, I guess.
Never have shot.
Yeah, unfortunate. Oh wow. Gotcha. This is the sort of stuff you want to see from Kiko. Sure, it's up against pistols, but when he's on, he is a force to be reckoned with. And he is on most of the time.
Yo, Gio, you're the bag. Wow.
Turned into Waluigi for a second.
I like this Poison Orb. That's really nice from Team Liquid, using them to avoid the haunt that goes down early. Now Bane thinks that that angle should be clear, at least for a little bit longer, and he goes down to Jet. Camo's there to greet him. Most of the squad of Team Liquid is there, waiting for that peak. All the while, they drag these rotates from DRX towards the B side, a mass exodus of A, and they can just go walking back. The space hasn't been taken, though. There are players outside A, but no one has filled it in.
But also look at freeing. He is tagged so desperately low, so it's not like he can now go jump peeking, jiggle peeking, swinging angles, because a stray bullet, hell, even the Tiger could take him out at this stage. He's got to be incredibly careful, and that's not really what is needed. In fact, they've had to gamble a second player over to this side of the map. And well, the Tiger's not going to finish him off. We'll see if somebody on the Liquid roster will.
Yeah, the Fangs didn't find him. But they're going to be aware of this position. His best play, wait for the rest of the team. Try to take advantage of the chaos. Hope that Liquid try to respond to the retake by pushing into his space. He can land that shot. But it's a passive play from Team Liquid. Not much utility left, and I think that's certainly of note at this point. Post plant isn't really that much of an option, not as deep as we'll see with this comp a little bit later on, I'd imagine. But Camo does well to find not their first of the round, but their first of the retake, a 3 versus 5. And the question for DRX, do we go for it? Do we risk these weapons with such little economy? And the answer is a clear no. They're running for the hills, and Team Liquid pushing up to 9.
Yeah, it's kind of a brutal scenario for them. They get absolutely played by the Poison Orb, which I'll say as well, with how powerful a post-plant tool that is a definite read from Liquid. That is them going, okay, they're going to try and get early info. Maybe they throw that haunt up high, as we've seen so many times. We hide within that Poison Orb. It's not the same as a sky smoke falling down, which is a very clear indicator that that has been avoided. And then because of that, they get that early pick, but also do enough damage on the other side of the map that I was actually looking at the contact point of where Freeing was in Lamps. If he swings, Camo is looking the complete opposite way and no one could cover him. But he doesn't have the HP to swing anymore. That was the one opening they had back into the site, and the second they lose another player, it's done. Like, you have to just retreat. Well, clearly feeling the pressure a little bit. We've spoken about Liquid streaking rounds together has been a tough thing to do, bar that first half of Abyss. Well, now that they've managed to win this one, go 3-0 up, DRX are feeling the pressure.
Well, this is the first time it's really felt like Team Liquid has the lead. They've got their hands firmly wrapped around those reins, and for DRX, the fight back, it's not out of reach just yet. But with 3 rifles saved, they've still got a decent chance at what will be a mixed buy or a light buy. They have a decision to make. How much do they invest into this? The ones with rifles, a little bit more, leaving themselves with less for the next, and does that mean a force-up? Maybe they try the Bucky. Hell, it worked on the other side.
It's definitely not pretty. That's the other problem, is you save all these guns and you feel the need to reinvest into your utility. It can kind of create this offset of never really having a particularly decent buy if you don't manage to make this work. So it's definitely put them in an odd position. The other thing as well is it's not like, oh yeah, we've got this ult that can pad the gap. This ult, there's nothing. The closest is going to be Marco having that orbital strike if he can get either 3 kills or claim 2 orbs. And for the defense, claiming those orbs is definitely not easy. What their plan is, push. Taking that little bit of extra control towards the A site. The Liquid have other ideas.
Well, they had the chance to play through the TP from DRX if the pressure was put on there. But instead, they decided to go pushing down. Again, filling back into that space. Steps hurt. They've made the right read. There's no utility coming through from Team Liquid. It's a disaster! Marco!
Down A.
He has shut down that rotate. They were expecting a fight around the corner, but he steps through, takes the battle to them, and leaves Kiko in a 1 versus 5. What a game plan from DRX. Well played. The utility spent on B, the gradual fallbacks, the Viper wall up. It made it look like Liquid hadn't a chance if they went there. So they have to go the other way, and that's all part of the plan for DRX.
Well, you can see as well that I feel like Liquid's expectation was that was going to be a crunch. I think they put the poison orb on the TP, like basically just so that if anybody tried to get through, Nats could cover them. They were expecting aggression, just not in the right place. And once he goes down, well, the rest of the team immediately pivot, and they are just not prepared for the aggression of Marco, putting the team on his back once again, a vintage display of individual brilliance. And more some frustration, because as I said, that was still the economy of DRX on the brink. Now they managed to win with what was a couple of pistols still there.
With some upgrades as well. Bane coming in late. The Sheriff kill. He'll make it out. Flashback sticks around for 1. And he gets his reward. Camo playing ahead. Maybe expecting that the TP had already been taken. Either way, it's a mistake. Nats with an op, lurking up in the wall. You do not see this every day, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he does love an outlaw. But I guess his expectation is that, okay, they've got this double duelist. There's going to be players looking for the fight. He was correct. He just wasn't in the right place. Now just sat back. Gonna try and claim some additional space. He managed to walk his way. This is the classic. He's walked all the way up. That operator's still watching though. And that's taken out Kiko. He's managed to see a man on the other side, but DRX are not looking to fight this. Not looking to give that additional little battle over to Nats. In fact, he's going to go walking through, taking so much damage as he does, but his goal is not to fight these players, it's to get into the backlines. But look how prepared DRX are for this. They now have players watching from either side.
Orbital strike going to completely deny the plan. Trek's taken down as well. He'll go down with the ship, with his wingman, and the op on flashback catches Nats. All that posturing, and it leaves them with nothing. And for Patatek, yeah, he is way out of position. Trying to play a super late lurk, but when the whole team crumbles like that, all you can do is save.
Yeah, he needs to as well. Like, you start looking at the finances of Liquid holding onto this gun could make a pretty significant difference. But that's a solid round from DRX. I think bringing the flashback operator in, like him just having that element of maneuverability, able to put himself into positions to find those openers, escape, and find the opener again. But then also just the A-site hold was so patient. They didn't give anything to Nats. Like, he's busy trying to hunt down players, find his team some value. And for the whole round, he's basically just a non-factor, even though he had so much space.
One round between them. I felt like Liquid were at least going to push up to that double-digit mark, and from there, the world's their oyster. Just a few rounds ago when DRX had those 3 rifles and 2 pistols to play with, 3 players digging deep in terms of their economy to make that happen, and look at the reward they found. One round between them. Orbital strike online, and you know what? It's going to be used, sent in onto Bane, but it's only a trade, and they've lost Camo, the man who would have taken that orb and been 1 away from the showstopper. Instead, he's still 1 away, but it's going to have to be saved for the next round. And the credits where they're at, that's not ideal.
It's a successful ult combo. At least they don't go a man down, but it's a heavy investment. We now sit there looking at a patient DRX. You've got the operator locking down the other side, and Hyunmin again is going to go looking for information, but he's managed to take quite a bit of control. They've stuck themselves in towards Hookah, but have left themselves stuck in the mud. Even still, they hold the line! An absolute shutdown of the Liquid push. They might get caught by the flashes, but it means absolutely nothing.
I actually don't know who broke the Gecko flash that came through. I think it might have been Fring, but that was so important.
30 seconds
Those players were going to be dead to rights if that connected up close in outside of Hookah. And at that point, the round falls, it crumbles. And DRX see Liquid push up to 10, but instead a huge punish. And again, it's going to be 1 player on that attack side left to save this weapon. But it's worrying.
10 seconds left.
This is where you want perhaps a pause to come through. At 9-6, DRX did it, and they managed to course correct immediately. Now they're neck and neck again for Team Liquid. A team that comes in as, I think in most people's minds, certainly, look, EMEA #1, Pacific #4. They are the favorites. They are the ones with the pressure on their shoulders. And for DRX, heating up like this so early on, already having a map to the good, and now on the map where Liquid think, well, we're comfortable. We can take the fight to them. It's not the case. Well, not convincingly.
It's giving the context of how DRX even qualified it. It was the match of Talon facing off against RFU. Talon with 2-0 in the lead. They close out one of the last 3 maps, and DRX aren't even here. Well, we're talking about Talon playing in this game, or actually, Talon would have gone in as a #2 seed and put someone else down, so it would have been a completely different story. DRX make a last-minute roster change as well, bringing Bane back in. And wow, what a change that seems to have been. Flashback, able to go over to the duelist, and Bane. That's the second round in a row we've seen him just spam through, and this time, well, there's no orbital strike to try and balance that one out.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, he's the one with the ultimate, and that confirms no one's here anymore. The A site's the right place to be. Hyunmin starts to rotate around. He's now going to be here to help out with this push if it does come down here, and the big problem, the op in that corner. Trex is stuck. He has to face him. He has to cross him. And you don't cross Flashback without paying the price. But Bane, in a 5v3, walks down B long. That's left the B site wide open.
Yeah, the thing is, Nats doesn't know that. It doesn't know how much of a commitment there was, so they still have to be patient, but eventually will get themselves in onto the site. Flashback, having that dimensional drift available, will be able to get themselves into post for the plant. Not given over to Camo means he doesn't have that ultimate online yet. They're trying to put the pressure on. He needs a kill, and he'll find it.
There we go.
Now that's the showstopper. Immediately puts into play, but he's trying to find a target, and he'll get it. Hyunmin down, giving them the advantage once again, and Camo's taken over. Just the one standing, but that one is Flashback. He has been a man to deal with, and a rifle picked up with the remaining 2. So passive, so patient. He's expecting that they're towards long, but both players are going to be swinging from the same position, and only the first is needed. Camo saving the day, and Liquid, well, they don't let the lead slip. They will take it back with 10.
Such an important round for Camo, especially, Tom, it looked like a mistake. Not seeing that orb go to him, especially when you're in a disadvantage. I was very surprised with the fact that he finds that opening onto Fring, that he can catch Hyunmin, and then lands it onto Mako. That single-handedly saved the round and perhaps Team Liquid's life on that upper bracket run. 1 round, in between them, but it's Liquid still in the lead. It's Thrash online for Trex, making a side exec much easier. And Flashback wants to get ahead of that. He knows if you sit back and let Liquid make the push, especially with Thrash, they've got a good chance. So he wants to push into them.
Don't know if Flashback goes any further than this.
Gate crash fading.
I would open him up to a couple of angles, but he does have support.
Gate crash gone.
No easy escape, but with the angles held, oh, there you go. The second one will be put into play. They want to try and hold on to this. The fact is, though, Liquid really have ground to a halt. They're expecting there to be some level of aggression. And what they're correct, they just haven't found it yet.
It's going to be B-Long, I think. While the Tiger sent through on A, you can see Camo posturing, ready to push on up. In goes Thrash. A lot of pressure on A, but Spike's still in spawn. From DRX's perspective, this looks like a hit, but I think the rotate to B is far more likely. They'll pick up that spike and rush on in. Hyun Min finds one, but Panatek is good for the trade, and he's just a distraction right now. He is drawing their eyes, but DRX haven't full rotated. They've left Mako on this side of the map. Bane's been holding on to control of B-Long. They're suspicious of this play, and rightfully so. Bane will find his reward. Mako needs to be patient, play this one with his teammate, and Bane is the one to find the pick. They can swing together on Kiko. Spike down, 12 seconds as the rest of DRX arrive. They will not fall for Liquid's bait. It's DRX, neck and neck again.
Yeah, they're reading this game incredibly well. The goal from Liquid has been to try and have that push and pull, sell the fake in, throw the Thrash in, force them back, and that's exactly what they did. But then Nats falls on one side, and because of that, they don't gamble the rotation, they don't pull that second player over. I feel like Bane, well, it's in the name. He's been the bane of their lives. He's causing them so many issues. Just sat back in this corner, over towards the garden, time and time again. And while at 10-10, Liquid will take a pause. And I want to give context as well of what the loser has to deal with. The previous champion's winner. That's what happens if you lose. If you take a defeat, you go up against Khan and his merry men of EDG. And no matter how confident you are in Liquid, the #1 seed, they've looked great regionally. Had their issues on the international stage, but of course some of the time that was because of players not being able to get there. Definitely a tough time for them. But I don't think you can be completely confident in either team falling into that lower bracket when they're up against EDG.
No, you certainly shouldn't be. It'd be a different story if they'd found their way down there and needed this massive comeback, return to form, because they looked weak today. That's not the case. They were not pulling blows. They were landing a lot of solid rounds, and I think, you know, you see it in how long the series lasted.
Yeah.
Or even just one of the maps over on Abyss. For Team Liquid, it's 10 on the board, but it's not likely to be 11. The economy is very weak. 2 rifles, a Bucky, a Stinger, and a pistol. For DRX, they have everything to work with. This should be the lead to the defensive side, but stranger things have certainly happened, even just here today.
Oh, it's early space taken. Nice shot from Bane again. As said, they have struggled to deal with him on this site. Combination of utility trying to create pressure, and pressure is being created. Flashback missing a shot. Flash immediately around the corner. He's so blind and will fall because of it. Spike down once again. With these weak purchases, Liquid get a chance.
Liquid have got the op as well. They've done the work. The groundwork with the spike down. Might not be an advantage just yet, but it's a lot closer to it than they were just moments ago. The defuse already starts. Blind catches everybody. Liquid spamming though, and the player's up top! The defuse from Mako! He stands in the open. They spray too low, and that will give DRX 11. That was a shaky start, but DRX have control.
Yeah, it's once again. Bane gets the opener. And then Bane is the one that basically just defends his teammate while the spams are coming through, clearing out the remainder. What a fantastic individual display from a man that coming into this tournament we didn't even expect to be in the roster. Like, I didn't know he was in the roster until today.
Well, I think they're going to be pretty happy that they brought him back. 11-10 rifles for Team Liquid. Ult on Patatek. That's the only one for now, but this could be a crazy round for DRX. Hyunmin, Fring, and Bane all one away. Bane, thanks to his 4K in the previous, a single pick, a single orb. The favor of this round swaps completely from a close one, a hard one to call. The heavily favored one for that defensive side, who've now been chaining rounds. They've been looking good. But we're used to the game of tennis, the score line of deuce, the back and forth. Someone's got to crack the code eventually.
Again, the saturation's going to slow them on their take. Freeing in the corner will be dealt with immediately. Hyunmin needs to go big and doesn't. Immediately taken down, and they've even managed to remove Bane. The problem is, Marco's still standing. Nats with the pit, and the spike wasn't necessarily committed to this side of the map. In fact, it's incredibly far away. It'll have to be a little bit perplexing to the other side. In fact, they are now going to take it into the B side. The Viper's pit ended up just being a ruse, but that feels much more like a mid-round call. You've dealt with Bane. Now you got a post plant.
But the damage here, well, the AWP has been picked back up, but it makes it a lot closer than it might seem. Patatek and Camo have been able to tuck away, though. They've been able to claim their spots to fight from. But Liquid need to be so careful not to overpeak. DRX already finding the opening.
Again.
They baited Mako into the open with the tap. Another tap coming through. The scars of the previous round where the defuse was stuck. Still showing here, he needs to pick! Mako! Stop the defuse for the Red Bull clutch! 12 for DRX! How have they gotten away with that?
The maestro of Marco has manipulated them once again. The last round he sticks it from the very beginning. This time taps it and then just almost plays the bait as teammate goes down, and they assume, in most cases, not for the wrong of them, that there's no way he'd stick it now. But this man has made the right call every single time. Leader of the pack and back on the international stage.
The goal it took to stick that now leaves Liquid 2 behind. 1 away from Showstopper, sure, that could help. The flashback's got a victim in mind. It's the Showstopper himself, stuck in the corner, and Op watching his crossback. He's stunned too. The flash goes in, they know there's 2 players here. Blood in the water. The DRX are hunting it down. Hyunmin catches Camo. That was one of the main things that Team Liquid could rely on. The Showstopper, if found, could change the course of this round. At least give them a leg up, and instead, they are falling.
Down B.
1 by 1 till it's a 5v3, a 5v2. DRX on the cusp of taking this series. A series everybody would have favored to Team Liquid at 2-0, the likely result. And look at them now.
30 seconds
They're called the masters of the group stage for a reason. The 5th, 6th spot has always had their name on it, and that means they need to make it out of the groups, but they're looking to do it in style. Kiko is all that stands in their way, and of course it's flashback to deal the final blow. A late change for this roster, and a change that seems to have brought them right back to the tip top of the tier 1.
EMEA's #1 has fallen at the hands of DRX. A team that may not even have been here. Their arrival out of their control, but they are making the most of their appearance at VALORANT Champions in Paris. And it's the top team of EMEA who pays the price. An unreal performance, and I think top to bottom of this series. Everybody showed up on DRX. Everyone had their
Cek. Buset, gelo, GG.
in map number 1, and he certainly was here as well. But
Siapa yang menang nih?
the guy coming back into the
Tiba-tiba
roster.
udahan sih.
Stole the show here.
DRX yang menang kah? PTL.
Mako defused the first time, saved the game. The second Mako defused.
DRX dong berarti ya. Kalau map terakhir kan DRX menang, berarti DRX ya 2-0, gila. Rata-rata 2-0 ya. PRX lawan XLG 2-0. Sentinel lawan Sentinel lawan GX 2-0. DRX lawan TL 2-0. Terus tadi apa ya? NRG lawan NRG lawan EDG 2-0. Semuanya 2-0. Gila. Bener-bener udah nggak mau ngabis-ngabisin waktu ya kan. Langsung serius 2-0.
We love to see his way of life, and I love to see him in the Verizon post-match interview.
Berarti rata-rata nih yang masuk lower bracket itu rata-rata kosong anjir. Kalahnya kalah 0. Gila. Kencing dulu guys.
Victory against Team Liquid. First of all, congratulations, and we've seen Bane, your former teammate, coming back to step in for Paris. So we saw you having fun on stage. I was wondering, what's your favorite thing about playing with him?
I guess the energy when we play with him is very fun. Yeah.
Okay, you're good friends with Hyunmin, right? With Bein, I mean.
Yes.
And we could see that on the server definitely. Donc on a vu que Bein avait rejoint l'équipe pour les Champions Paris. Donc qu'est-ce que on adore en tout cas du côté d'Hyunmin de jouer avec lui, tout simplement son énergie, il amène des good vibes. On l'a vu se lever aussi pendant les rounds. Donc voilà, on est très potes. And second question I was gonna ask you, you qualified for Champs as the seed 4. We know that the road hasn't been easy, to reach Champs Paris, but here you are. So what is the thing you are the most proud of today of the team?
I guess our team is playing with no regrets.
Okay.
So I guess we're just all having fun playing. So I think that's the most important part.
I agree with you, that's very important indeed. Et donc, on sait que la route n'a pas été facile pour DRX. On est qualifié en seed 4. La course au playoff a été compliquée, mais ils sont là. Donc, de quoi est-ce qu'il est le plus fier aujourd'hui? Et tout simplement, le mental de l'équipe. On joue sans regret, on s'amuse sur scène. Et c'est clair que ça se voit. And last but not least, we had crème brûlée, the French dessert the other day. So I wanted to know, is crème brûlée buff real? And do you want to have more French desserts?
Yes, I think it was a buff. Yes, I will have to have more.
Then I'm very proud and happy to have been able to help you. On a mangé de la crème brûlée avec Hyunmin il y a quelques jours, donc je lui demandais si c'était un petit peu un bœuf de manger des desserts français, et lui il dit que oui, évidemment, et qu'il voudra en avoir un petit peu plus. Thank you very much, Hyunmin. 감사합니다, and congratulations for this massive victory, and that's all for us on stage. For today, we're gonna head back to our analyst desk before some banger matches tomorrow. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
What a crazy day we've had, but DRX 2-0 against Team Liquid with Bane on the roster as well. Are we believing in the DRX narrative of always getting out of groups? We have to believe.
I don't know, but at this
Gelo.
match prowess have never lost.
Rata-rata 2-0 ya. Dan yang masuk lower bracket rata-rata nggak dapat skor.
Yeah, go on, keep proving the haters wrong.
Ibarat kata bener-bener dibantai 2-0.
Second half, full sticking diffuses twice in a row from Mako. Eco rounds going their way, like come on.
The confidence out of Mako.
Sejauh ini belum ada map ketiga.
And hope for the best. What we will say is on the other side
di
of
VALORANT
this,
Champion
probably some of the
Paris.
most uncharacteristic
Tapi
shenanigans out of Nats, right?
ini kenapa downgrade gini ya? Steknya VALORANT Champion ya? Kalau gue bilang malah bagusan kemarin tuh. Master. Dan ini jauh banget sama champion-champion tahun sebelumnya.
I have never seen him
sih?
do that on any in any time ever.
Yeah, and then because Mako
kayak biasa aja gitu. Steknya begitu doang.
5 HP doesn't want to swing, so Mako just sticks the whole thing and Nats is still 5-10 seconds away.
Out of all the
Apa
players
temanya
that
sekarang
play
begini,
internationally,
clear aja, clear.
I would have never expected
Nggak ada
Nats to be the one to make a mistake of that
apa gitu,
caliber. And
kayaknya
obviously,
sebelumnya tuh layar deh.
mistakes happen.
Bawahnya
You
tuh
see it,
layar,
and you can see it
lantainya
on
tuh
his
ada
face
layar
there.
ya.
That's just wild for that to be how that map ends out. I mean,
Hashtagnya
I mean,
begini
I
ya?
don't want to be a hindsight
Lagi
Andy,
BU kah?
but with a player like Nat on
Valorant
your
lagi
team,
BU
if
kah?
he hadn't done that TP, they was unlosable. Unlosable. His positioning, the
Ini
advantages
puncaknya
they
loh,
had
bro.
in that. Is this something to be worried about going
Apa
forward?
belum
Because
kali?
They will face EDG next.
Soalnya ini kan
and
masih
they
di
will be
grup ya kan.
I mean, I am worried in the sense that like Nats was the best player
Ntar pas
in
udah
that grand
mengerucut,
final, and then we see that today, but
yang
in the
tinggal
sense of, like,
beberapa
we know he can
tim
come back, we know what he is capable of, like
yang masuk
this
playoff
has to be a
baru
fluke. If
kayaknya.
it's not, like my mind would literally explode because what happened to my goat?
Sepertinya ya.
I hesitate to say that his performance today was not an anomaly. I think no. I mean, again, 5 years of being a household name in this sport. I hesitate to think that something like that could happen again. And with that
Soalnya
said,
nggak mungkin banget.
tremendous respect to DRX.
Atau nggak ini
and the
emang
way that they
strategi
played.
marketingnya
Kane was hitting some ridiculous shots. You think about that double satchel
biar
out of hookah
jadi
in the last round or
obrolan
second to last
publik
round of
dulu
the
ya
game.
kan.
I love the way they played the map. They understood that Liquid wanted to go exec really heavy, so they started to deny space
Rame
across
ya
the
kan.
map, take some of
Dapat
these aggro
exposure.
lines, and then once they realized that Liquid could not exec wherever they wanted to go, they had to rotate away. And DRX are standing there with waiting arms. I love the way they played the map. It was incredible. This is the shot I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's silly.
Gross. Out of pain.
It's even worse considering he was getting owned in those first engagement over and over again in the first like 4 rounds of the second half.
Yeah, he was struggling early on, but locked in when he needed to. Literally from 9 to 6, when TL went up in that second half, DRX lost a singular round. That is it. I think flashbacks Operator 2 was a consistent threat that Team Liquid were unable to really deal with on their own terms.
And I will say this,
Gue
Flashback
mau
had a
lanjut di
couple,
stream
3,
ini apa
4
gue
kills
restream
in a
ya?
row with the op that should have been on, and he was a little off the mark. And even with that, late in the game,
Coba
DRX
dulu
were able to pull it through. I cannot
kita
speak enough for how much I loved how they
soalnya
played
game
behind.
gue
It
nggak
was
masuk.
incredible.
I love in the big 2025 we get Prime Mako back again. You know, he's been to every chance and he's never
Game gue
won.
nggak masuk.
So who knows? Who knows? I mean, it's same as the other players has been to every chance. Buzz has never won chance. He's been to every one. Boast has been to every chance. They've had 5 chances at this. So hopefully it's going to be one of them this time around. And speaking of Buzz,
GG untuk EDG. Ah ini nih. Ini dulu nggak sih? Nah. Paper X lawan GX. Tuh, 2-0. Oh, iya Sentinel 2-1. Ada map ketiga dia. Iya, lupa gua. 2-0 cuman Sentinel doang lawan GX 2-1. Paper X GX. Habis itu DRG lawan Seed besok day 3. Gitu lawan TH. Baru besok paling tanggal 15 lah. Tanggal 15. RRQ fanatik. RRQ lawannya langsung berat gitu ya. Langsung fanatik anjrit. Ini game capture gua nggak bisa nyala nih. Oke lah, GG untuk DRX, NT untuk apa? Tim Liquid. Gue mau restart OBS dulu nih. Restart OBS. Garut na 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 na. Oke, oke, oke. Kita hajar lagi, hajar lagi, hajar lagi. Ya harus gue exit dulu deh.
Smoke on my vision so hazy.
Oh, nggak muncul anjir. Why? Nggak muncul palonya. Game-nya nggak muncul, bro. Ini gua harus restart apa harus restart OBS-nya aja? Ya restart OBS-nya doang deh. Sorry ya. Oke. Ini engger. Oke. Kita coba lagi. Tapi sebelumnya karena aku juga pula panas juga. Kadang lebih atau sama parahnya. Ding 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 ding. Satu. Tuh, nggak bisa nih, restream deh. Restream sih ini, kayak gini caranya. Restart ini, salah satu hal. Coba game lain ya, game lain ya. Coba game lain, game lain. Game lain, game lain. Coba kita game lain, bisa nggak nih? Oh nggak masuk ya capture-nya ya? Restart kah? Kalau restart ini ke end stream, cok. Coba dulu game lain, kita pancing dulu pakai game lain. Deng 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 deng. Wah, kita pancing pakai game yang agak berat, 5M. Kita buka dulu Discord. Oh, ini bisa. Kok Valorant nggak bisa, bre? Ini bisa tuh. Restart nih. Bas. Tahu nih kita mau silver. Di silver 3. Wah. Muncul nggak tuh? Nggak muncul ya? Muncul ini anjir. Ya udahlah, tanggung lah. Kita download dulu deh ini. Kita update kan ini. Biar nanti misalnya pas mau main di kota udah nggak download lagi. GBX. Banyak juga gue lihat-lihat tuh. Masuk ya? Kok Valorant kagak ya? Kenapa ya? Onibir. Motion Live Roleplay. Onibir. Bocah Vector tuh. Kayak nggak asing tuh nama. Galileo. Gila nih kota. Server CS-nya aja 50 gigaan anjir, hampir 60 giga. Gelo. FPS sih gila banget, 1000 FPS gua anjing. Ribet. Buruk. Error, YouTube tidak menerima cukup video untuk menjaga kelancaran. What the fuck? Real? For real? Wih. Tiba-tiba 60 menit lagi. Lah, kok nambah jadi 1293 menit lagi. Gue kira bener anjir di diskon. Buset, apa nih? Pokemon. Ah, dia kenapa tuh kok bisa? Oh, bisa, emang bisa. Mau kebuka sekarang ya? Kebuka gitu doang. Cukup video. Real? Nge-lag yuk. Nah, yaudah sekalian kita tes nih. Kuat gak dia? Ramai banget nih. 1700 player. Oh my god.
Sama berburu hilang, ngurus ke government lagi kah? Tiba-tiba hilang gitu.
Emang ada yang hilang? Enggak nih, gua nggak ada yang hilang.
Mahal nggak ya? Kan cuma ngurus hilang doang ya?
Gua nggak ada yang hilang kayaknya ya. Kayaknya sih. Wah, FPS gua ngedrop cing. CPU CPU 1.
Makanya segini bang.
FPS gini nggak apa-apa. Sinyal gue buruk cuman ya. Kalian lah kita setting-setting lah ya. Coba gue mau nembak ini aja deh. Jangan di game ya, tapi gue nembak di sini ya. Ya. Coba. Lebih enteng kah? Kita tidak menerima cukup video. Real? Wow. Makin chaos gue lihat-lihat. Nah, berarti nggak bagus. Langsung kita tembak aja. Ah. Oh, ini bisa ganti baju di situ. Ngelecok. Berarti di game. Ketabrak mokat gue sih. Buset, chaos banget. Buset. Sampai jatuh orang aja ya. Yuk kita main palo ya, udah cukup nih, udah cukup. Tapi ini nggak bisa, berarti ya gue harus restream ya, Kita end stream dulu guys. Gak muncul ini gue. Palo gue nggak muncul anjir. Oke guys, thank you buat semuanya. See you next time everybody. Kita akan restream ya, kita main palo ya. Oke guys, bye bye. Thank you everybody.